War. My war.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho. Hello,
So,
everybody.
Hi. Attack on Titan, episode 3 of season 4
yep.
happened.
It did. It did.
Yep.
We're here.
Yep.
We somehow lived.
We did.
But I'm still, feeling that 1,000-yard stare from freaking Eren Yeager, baby!
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Bomb!
Jägerbomb!
Jägerbomb! He's here in Marley, and holy shit!
Yep.
That was a terrifying way to end the episode.
Reiner, why can't you be like Jaeger bombastic over here? Yeah, poor Reiner.
Oh my god, Reiner.
Yep.
Reiner!
Uh-huh.
I think I had probably I'm just trying to think about in the 2 episodes that we got, before this episode, the majority of my love, appreciation, affection, and desire to protect Reiner was 3.5 to 4 out of 10 because
Oh, okay.
I really, really understood that he was really a victim just like all the others were. But it was that moment when we saw him kind of do the left hand.
Yeah.
Wait, looking, and then they flash and then the light changes and everything. But then this episode here drove home exactly what's going on in his head. To the point that I was talking with people in Discord, and I'm like, okay, Attack on Titan might just end up being my favorite anime. It might end up like that, depending on how it ends.
There is definitely, possibly some, recency bias kind of a thing. But at the same time, damn.
At the same time, guys.
Yep, I love this
Attack
show.
on Titan.
I love this show so much.
This is 3 episodes into season 4. 3 episodes.
Yep.
Holy shit.
yeah.
Jacob during the watch just Bible thump. Yeah. Yeah, kind of just even rewatching our own reactions and stuff as well. You just could see just this pain of knowing on his face.
Yep, it's a burden. It's a burden. There are some gifted subs that it might be a good idea to shout out.
Zeldrix with the 23 months of Twitch Prime. Let's go! And the 5 Tier 1 community gifted subs. Thank you so much, Zeldrix. Thank you.
Yes.
It's really kind of you. Wow.
But, yeah.
Okay, guys. So, as per usual, Jacob will be manning chat. But we also have mods in here who are going to be awesome.
Thank you, mods.
So thank you, mods, for being you.
Be
and
ruthless.
I will be managing the episode footage and stuff here.
Division of labor.
Exactly.
Yep.
We're a team in that regard.
And no, Eren is not the imposter. He's just doing tasks in electrical,
Wait, Jacob. There's no tasks on electrical depending on the map that you choose. Oh no, Jacob, are we in Polis or Skeld? This is a big difference here, Jacob.
That is a bit of a problem.
Oh no.
That's a bit of
wait,
a problem.
no. Electrical in Polis has a cage around it. A chain link fence. Oh no, we're at Polis. There are no tasks in Polis electrical.
No,
Oh shit. Oh no.
Anyways.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So this episode, I feel like it's very easy to just get, focused on the 2 big things that we had of Reiner almost biting the bullet and Eren showing up. But there was a lot of other stuff that happened in this episode too.
Quite a bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, XV Ethan with the 20 months of Tier 1. If this is what we're going to be doing for 4-ish months, I figure it was worth running it back. All right. Well, thank you very much for the support. Appreciate it. They did cut out some important stuff from the last episode, but I guess they'll add them later. One of the things that I would say has kind of been a constant trend, though, in the way that Attack on Titan relays its story in the non-linear fashion is how often they'll drop us in situations where there are characters that know things that we don't know they know.
Right.
So then later they end up jumping back and showing how we got to that point
Yeah.
in a kind of a mild way. But that has been done about like half a dozen times at this point. Maybe a little less, maybe 5 times.
I feel like it's something where, because it's not a manga anymore, right? And they're able to actually put these things in motion with music and everything. They're able to kind of cut back on how much time is spent on certain scenes, which does cut out from some of the more dialogue heavy bits, but we're still able to get the impression of what's going on. And they of like they don't need to do that, but I'm glad that they're doing that, because it's an adaptation, right? Ideally, with an adaptation, you want to make the material even better than in the original. One of the ways you can do that is by trimming some of the fat. You might get a little bit of muscle with the fat that you trim, but overall, I think what we've got here is something that's very lean, very, very just good, concise, and yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot.
Okay, cool. All right. People talking pacing stuff. Gotcha.
Yes, I also would have wanted the Reiner scene to last a little bit longer, Ben Meyer. Yeah.
Gotcha. So people are saying that things are going a little bit too fast, or they're actually going too slow. I'm confused.
Well,
because there are people that seem to be saying that this is like a lot of time being spent here as well.
It's there isn't actually that much time being spent here, and a lot of it I feel like is probably colored by the fact that with the manga you had to wait a month for each chapter, right? So an episode comes out, and if it covers 2.5 chapters, that's 1 week for 2.5 months of content, right? So it will make it feel faster in general, and then if little things are left out, like you need to do for an adaptation into a show or movie form, then of course some things are going to be dropped.
But before we get into the deep dive analysis, I think that's a good thing to just discuss in general, guys. The main 2 problems of early Attack on Titan was that we didn't have great perspective on a lot of the characters, and the pacing was inconsistent.
Sure.
So now the problem with Attack on Titan is at times maybe they don't slow the pacing down enough.
Right.
And that's like it. The character problem has been completely solved.
Yep.
The characters are fantastic right now.
And quite frankly, I would much rather have them give 16 episodes of concentrated, focused, give plenty of like time and attention to detail for it, than 24 episodes where you get the feeling that maybe 6 episodes of that could have
been condensed.
Yeah,
and that's a really tricky thing to probably figure out in general with an adaptation.
Not potato, but yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like there's no resolution that leaves everybody perfectly happy.
Right.
But, the people at MAPPA know what they're doing.
Yeah, and I think the example of where this episode is basically another one of those nigh perfect Attack on Titan episodes is you still have scenes like the Annie-Kenny situation that feel a little disjointed.
Yeah, that one I feel like could have
basically
been left out. Like I saw a bunch of people getting confused of like, wait, is Kenny Annie's father? Because it happened so fast, and it's like, no, that wasn't what was going on.
We've seen literally a flashback of her with her dad.
Exactly.
From season 1. That was not Kenny.
But that being said, that scene was so fast and didn't really tie into too much of the character moments, other than the fact that showing that Annie is still working hard on trying to figure out where the founding Titan
is.
And
she wants to be doing it solo, which we will be getting.
But she's also pissed that she kind of pissed that she has to do it solo as a result of actions from Reiner, for instance.
Well, she also doesn't want to see Reiner's face much.
Oh, definitely not. Yeah.
All right, so let's get into this episode, y'all. For those of you that are just tuning in for the first time for these, welcome. This is our Twitch channel. We've noticed that these specific Attack on Titan discussion podcasts of a sort, they're more like deep dive play-by-play analysis with a little bit of good kind of commentary side of things from Chat and Jacob giving a little bit of clarification with regards to things, and then me, the anime only, kind of doing a little bit of investigating and questioning certain things. But this is our Monday stream just until Attack on Titan Season 4 is over. That's just what it's going to be. Episode by episode.
Yep.
We're going to be doing this because people are showing up. You guys are doing a great job for the most part, being cool here. So it's not like a problem for me potentially getting spoiled here.
You're Gucci, yeah.
Yeah, but main thing is if there's an explanation that you feel like is not being given, tried to ask in a subtle way to the mods and stuff to be like, hey, should we be doing that stuff? But zero manga content. I don't care. I don't care what it is.
We will be ruthless.
Yeah. None of that at all. This is primarily a way that Jacob and I can go a little bit more slowly in depth into key specific scenes that we weren't able to go as far as in depth to as we maybe usually would have in the reaction side of things. Because let's be real, one of the things that was a really fun thing of Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2 was Jacob and I just cut loose in a lot of the discussions. You guys remember Season 3 Episode 20?
Oh man, that's
Like that was probably one of the craziest discussions we've had in the channel's history.
well, definitely the longest.
Well, there's some that come pretty darn close.
Because that was a solid 2 hours of like it broke, like it's not like rounding up to 2 hours. Like the
Right.
discussion itself was 2 hours.
yeah,
which
it's like one of the longest videos we've ever had and stuff
And
like
and
that.
and the thing is that I don't like so much was just opened up by that episode. Like I
It
feel like that
deserved it.
kind of set the precedent for the need to potentially do things like this, like doing podcasts for the episodes because man, especially since they're completely shifting just the focus of
Yeah.
the show, right? You know, like yes, Aaron, he showed up, but like we're in a whole new world essentially now. So, you know, there's going to be a whole lot more questions raised in a single episode than maybe, you know, two of the previous episodes just because all new territory.
And speaking of all new territory, Season 4 basically being the, hey, let's look at Marley and the Eldian side of things. Basically the warriors, our little wits.
Oh boy.
And now that we know that Aaron is here, and not only is he here, he might have been here for a while. Like he's so undercover that he's like not got one of his legs, like he's got half
And
a
might
leg.
not have one of his eyes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Like,
Uh-huh.
oh my god.
Yep.
So, guys, we're going to be basically putting up little screenshot moments from the episode while we've got it right here. You guys will be able to see us going over them and stuff like that, but there's not going to be any sound for the purpose of copyright and all that shenanigans. So, yeah, let's jump right into it, yeah?
So,
Okay, so
which part do you want to focus on first? Because like, there's the fact that we got Reiner. Almost did it. The fact that we got Reiner backstory this episode, which by itself, it's like you gotta love it, right?
I mean, yeah.
Like especially after how much we've grown to care about Reiner as a character in the last couple episodes, the fact that then it's like, okay, all right, let's get a bit more detailed about our boy here, you know?
Yeah.
And see what brought him to this place because he wasn't always like this.
Yep. Okay. Here, just giving us a nice little cold open
Yep.
of Reiner's mom giving a little bit of a preparatory bit of foundation work for who Reiner will be for the rest of his life. It's kind of something that perfectly sets up, and I mean perfectly sets up, you heard me mention episode 320, but think about what Grisha did to Eren.
Yep. Oh yeah. And
Not at all the ideal scenario. And something he was actively avoiding, actually, because he had learned his lesson with Zeke. He did.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So the fact that he accidentally kind of pushed Eren into that, like this is one of those things that I didn't bring up in the discussion of this episode for the reaction thing.
Yeah.
But like on rewatching the episode, that was one of the first things that came to mind. I was like, oh, holy shit, another Eren Reiner parallel that they just made there.
Which just reinforces even more the need for the young generation to break free of the stultified old generation so that way they can truly, well, live free, you know. And because even if you think you're free, you might not be. You might either because you're not seeing the signs or maybe because you're deluding yourself, right? But
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's its own thing there. That's a big deal. And just the fact that they're starting off like this with the idea of we were abandoned, that's why we live in a camp surrounded by walls.
Yep.
It's the kind of thing of, okay, does he not know this right now? I don't think it really matters. It's the point of basically showing what's the present truth of his reality.
Right.
what he
What's
lives
his
in.
environment? What is he being taught? And
Yep. What is his hell that he lives in? What is it? And tying this all into that's why your father isn't here. Since your father is Marleyan. Marleyan, the emphasis on the syllable is important.
Insult
But
to injury.
the bit that just gets me here is I don't know what caused this interaction here,
Uh-huh.
but there have been multiple moments so far in season 4 where they show really just powerful human expressions that are very much like Attack on Titan kind of exaggerated expressions, but they just give so much feeling in them here. And look at this boy.
Yep.
This boy is like 8 years old. Like, he's
probably.
young. He's
Very young.
really young here. In fact, we know he has to be younger than basically like 11.
Right. If
Like, at the very least, he's younger than 11 here.
Right, because I believe the way the time of everything works out is that he's 21 right now.
Well, he was 12 when he was sent to the
Oh,
the
right,
wall.
and then 5 years, 17, and then
5
4
17
years,
and 4.
21.
Right.
Yeah.
So, at the very least, he's not even like training to be a warrior at this point.
Nope. This is
So-
just him just observing and taking in what his mom's telling him,
Yep.
which, some of it's for his best interest, some of it's for just the interest of the family, and this is what I have to tell you and what I have to believe myself in order for us to survive,
Yeah.
But look at that face.
Look at that face.
That's,
This is
that's
a
an
kid that's burdened.
innocent face right there. Yeah, exactly.
He's
One
not
of the
able
few
to-
times that we've ever seen Reiner where he is, well, maybe truly free, right? Because
And he's now having the cage being put around him.
yep,
Like right now by his mother, and it's
Yeah.
just the reality of which they have to live in. Or they choose to live in. Because every day is a gift, but it's also a choice, guys. Oh shit, here we go. Okay. So this is where his motivation comes from. If only we were Marleyan.
right.
And we of course get just Gaddy Reiner. He looks good, guys.
Oh yeah.
The guy is tortured inside, broken and suffering.
But damn, he looks sexy.
Goddamn, he looks really good.
Yeah.
And I gotta say, this is something that I've been like very much excited for, just because of the idea that this is a new studio, but also there's a time skip. I cannot wait to see the new character designs
Well,
for
yeah,
the 104th.
Because
and
just
Levi's
for Eren,
squad.
like he looks so different now from
It's still him.
right.
You can see that expression. The
yeah,
eyes.
those well, seafoam green eyes. You know, yeah, you can tell them from a mile away. Actually,
yeah.
it might not be seafoam exactly, but the point is,
Yeah.
mhm.
But
Yep.
I'm personally most excited to see Mikasa.
Oh, yeah?
I think Mikasa is going to be one of the ones that will be like rather potent in character design.
Oh,
like
I see.
personally. My favorite boy, you guys all know this. My favorite boy, my favorite
Armin.
character has been Armin. But Reiner right now is giving Armin a run for his money. Right
That's
now.
true. Yeah. I mean, like, Armin's gonna be hard pressed to compete with Reiner at this point.
Yeah. But him thinking back to why he wanted to be a warrior,
Yep.
and it was for his family, and then we get to see this, and this just kills me
Parallels
because
from
this is such a good callback. There's so many callbacks to season 1.
Yep.
In this episode,
They're
guys.
excellent. I love them so much.
And like, this is the thing of why I love this show so much. I feel so rewarded when I rewatch season 1, and then I get
yeah.
episodes like this.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Episode 320, right? Episode 320, that completely changed Attack on Titan as a show. It even changed the genre, basically,
Kinda,
right?
yeah.
Right? But, we get used to it because we're like, okay, this is what Attack on Titan's in. And it's so easy to forget that season 1 of Attack on Titan and season 4 of Attack on Titan are the same show.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's because they're so utterly different. Right?
Yeah.
In so many ways.
Tone especially.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I think one of the things that is a legitimate like concern that I think people just had over the course of this series going was that even the jump from season 1 to 2 was a huge tonal shift.
Yes.
And people were like,
this is different.
this is something a little different, and I'm not so sure I even like it as much. I'm like, yeah, I personally like it because suddenly in season 2 they're like, the characters are the story first and foremost. Bam. Like Ymir, one of the best characters in the show now. Historia,
Fantastic.
Krista, aka Historia,
Yeah.
the wife who formerly known as Krista,
Right.
actually now one of the best characters in the show as well. Reiner hinted at being basically potentially one of the best characters in the show, and now here we are,
like
in season 4,
like
seeing this guy getting like his backstory, and I just like what is it with anime backstories, dude? What is it? How do they do this?
They hit different.
They hit different.
Like just after season
Jesus.
2, Reiner was one of my favorite characters, right?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I loved the contradiction. It was so good. It was so good.
Yeah.
But then we get stuff like this, and it's like, oh yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same show where Reiner
Mm-hmm.
was going through boot camp, and he takes, he helps Armin with his pack, right? Yeah. Same show, same
show.
person.
Reiner.
Wow.
I'm gonna go in.
Wow.
One of the biggest things,
Okay.
Jacob, that I've got actually, like, you haven't even heard me like talk about my thoughts on this.
I haven't even heard
Yeah.
you think about. We can't
Guys,
hear each other's
by
thoughts.
the way,
It's rather
the secret
disconcerting.
power. Yeah, exactly. The secret power that we have is we can actually hear each other's thoughts, but we have to do bad discussions every once in a while so that you don't catch on. But no one will believe you that. No one will believe you anyway. So
exactly.
Don't bother trying to spread it. It won't matter.
It's like that personal story where, Bill Murray just goes up and eats one of your French fries and
Yep.
just says,
No
no one's
one
going to
will
believe
believe
you.
you.
Yeah.
Add Harris 12 with the 100 bits. I think it's interesting that Reiner takes on the responsibility of leading the mission when Marcel basically sabotaged it by manipulating the warrior selection and breaking under the guilt and telling Reiner the mission was already failing before even starting because of Marcel.
Ooh.
Yep. We're gonna get into that. We're
Yeah,
gonna get
good
into
stuff.
that. But okay, so training. Our boy is going to get broken down so that he can get built back up. And he is a willing participant in this.
Just like the grasshopper is unwilling as Annie squashes it again and again.
Yep. I love also that it's something that is used as the framing of the scene transition.
Mm-hmm.
So the next scene basically shown with all the wits, in this case, Zeke's basically crew being the ones here. And this is what Annie ends up letting out some frustration on.
Yep.
Some pent-up violence.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Just, setting up so much here. And the three, main characters of the antagonist side of things from the earlier seasons with Annie, Reiner, and Bertolt kind of get the majority of the focus in this backstory.
Yeah, and
Like,
that makes sense, because
even though Reiner is the main one, that it's his backstory, really.
Right.
Because, well, Annie's still, and then Bertolt, exactly.
yep,
So,
got turned into celery. So, yeah. And
the
well,
Petra thing was like a bad joke, and I
no, it was a bad joke, but I loved it. It was so good because
Yeah.
it's something where you can see that Annie crushing that grasshopper, right? Is it unnecessary? Yes. But, it's just a grasshopper, right? It's not that big of a deal, Like, should she do it? Well, maybe not, but it's just a grasshopper. But then it's like, wait, no. Think about it. What would that feel like to suddenly be a titan, right? And to have people scurrying around you about as big as that grasshopper. Yeah, I feel like that visual helps a ton to communicate just how easily it is for these kids to be put into situations where all of a sudden they're slaughtering countless people.
I really love how the conflict between what are the first names?
I believe it's Pock.
Pock, because that's the nickname, though.
It might be. I'm not 100% on this because usually
So, Marcel is one of the brothers, but then what's the actual first name of the other brother?
I believe it's Pock.
No, I believe that's the Nope. See,
Oh, Porco.
See,
That's right.
You've
right.
assimilated the nickname as the main name there. So Porco.
I always feel
Porco
bad.
Rosso.
I always feel bad calling him Porco because it's like, no, hold on. It sounds.
It's not a bad name.
Well, it sounds like.
Someone in chat could be named Porco.
Well,
Come on,
okay.
Jacob. Yeah. Also, I love that during this little bit here, this is when Annie's actually crushing the bug.
Yep.
So we get to see basically the beginnings of these three being separated from the crew here. Reiner took a little bit of an L here after he tried to do the whole
I will accuse you in order to elevate my own standing.
Right. And I love that in that instance there, Marcel is being the leader and being like, hey, back it up.
Stop this.
When Zeke is right there.
Yes,
Zeke
that's true.
didn't do a dang thing.
And at the same
Not
time,
a
it's like
damn thing.
like it's one of those things where it's like Marcel will remember this. Like this is probably where Marcel got the idea of, you know what? Yeah. No, I can do this. Yeah, that'll be a way that I can make it so that my brother doesn't end up becoming a Titan and he can be spared this pain. Cool.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, Reiner can't do anything but take L's. I mean,
but they don't stick. They don't stick.
Yeah, they just bounce off his armor.
Yeah.
His
at least that's what he tells
enormously
himself.
Thick plot armor. But at
Plot
this
armor
point
and
here,
mental armor and
at this point, this is something where the main thing keeping him going is probably the fact that he's decompartmentalized so much. Or actually, no.
Well, no.
Compartmentalized so
right,
much.
right.
To the point where he is able to separate.
And it just gets
everything.
worse and worse and worse. I love that we got to see Reiner's descent into insanity, right? Because I feel like that's something that's not often done in stories, you know, because it's hard to be done convincingly. And oftentimes I feel like, oh, cool.
Okay, cool.
And when it is done, I feel like it's usually done with characters that are more of the traditional kind of crazy, right? Where it's the, you know, oh, I'm a psycho and I love killing, or, you know, or things like that,
exactly.
right? As opposed to the, no, in order to survive, I have to disassociate and basically say, I have to become a different person, right?
Yeah.
Because the person that I am isn't cut out for this, right? It's not enough.
And there we go. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. But then we get this little moment here from Bertolt. And Bertolt, I feel like, is one of the characters that a lot of people just kind of let fly under the radar.
Yeah, just sort of
because
forget
he's
about.
Quiet, for one. But he's empathetic. And I wanted to bring this up because I feel like
dead.
I feel like the two characters that it's easier to see where their characterization was being aided, just in general, was basically the fact that Annie and Reiner actually had like a lot going for them in that regard. And Bertolt here kind of is the one to actually help Reiner up.
Yep.
And he was like, hey, no, the thing that you are known for, that's
still
actually important.
Yeah.
It is something.
Right.
So, yeah. Don't,
Chin up.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Like, don't give up there. Like, this is actually something that is valuable here. Even though apparently Bertolt is the prodigy that, like, picked up the Colossal Titan immediately.
Yeah.
So, in some ways, it's kind of like if the greatest in your class, maybe Zeke notwithstanding, you know,
sure,
depending on how that works.
The Wonder Boy, it's kind of hard to top that,
exactly.
You know? It's almost like there's something special about his blood, you know.
I don't know. What are you talking about, Jacob?
What?
There hasn't been any even subtle foreshadowing regarding that. No. But I really wanted to just capitalize on this moment here because him saying that he's basically looking out for you, Reiner, is going to be important when we see the next scene where Bertolt's empathy takes him to not getting to help Reiner.
That scene, yes, right. But then there's also the whole God of Destruction scene, which I just
that has nothing to do with Reiner. Though.
Well, right, and certainly not for the details of the character decisions for them necessarily, right?
Yeah.
It's just showing their journey and the things they had to go through, but and being a wonderful spectacle.
Yeah. And Annie wasn't even listening to any of this. She was too busy crushing the bug.
Like she was really focused on that bug.
And then they noticed what she was doing.
Like she didn't even just crush that bug. Like
She dragged her foot across the ground.
Yep. Like that was something where when I watched the episode, I was like, wait, did she end up actually crushing multiple bugs? Because that's a lot
That's
of
a lot
pieces.
of bug.
Yeah, that's a lot of bug. And it could have been multiple, even though we only saw the one, or maybe more likely,
Yeah.
is that she just didn't really stop. Like it almost feels kind of like Eren when he was stabbing the guy in the
Yeah.
the backstory from Mikasa.
Yeah, with Mikasa.
Right.
Mhm.
Where he just keeps going. He keeps going. And it's like, where is this coming from? Right? And the fact that Annie does this to a bug.
Well, it's just showing how broken she is at the moment as well.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, it's setting up for where things are going to break down for her as a character as well.
Mm-hmm.
And that she was already basically well on her own path
To breaking.
in some ways.
In
long
her own
before-
different way.
Yeah. In some ways long before either of these two were.
Right. Well, they all were.
No, they all were, but in some
Yeah.
ways I kind of say that she was getting her own pressure from her father.
Oh,
and
sure.
this was something that was showcasing that she didn't have basically a Reiner or Bertolt equivalent.
Right.
kind of
yeah. She
lean
kept
on a little
distant
bit.
enough that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So then we get the Gabby, the Eren, the big moment where we see what happens when our little kids kind of have the big dream and just kind of casually just talk about how they're going to just commit genocide.
Mm-hmm.
We've heard
Yep.
it multiple times now from multiple different characters, but hey, it's a
Genocide
cycle,
will solve
right?
the problems, right?
Paths.
Mm-hmm.
It all's happened before, and it's all happen again.
Oh, boy.
And I almost love it that it's basically even the thing of if I, kill everyone over there, will I finally be free? If I crush all the devils on paradise, will I save the world?
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And the thing is that
Yeah.
because kids are so black and white, like I feel like, yeah, this kind of stuff happening, it's not that unrealistic, right? Like the circumstances and everything are definitely pretty far out there. Titans don't exist and all, but damn. Yeah.
Damn.
And then
Also, I just thought this was sick humor, like literally,
Isn't it?
actually just really sick.
I wish
To have this
something would
moment
happen.
where Eren is here staring at these impossibly large walls,
Yep.
unaware, innocent of what influence he's going to have just on just this whole island in general. Like, I wish something would happen. And then little Armin's coming up to him with the book that's going to inspire him even more to see the sea and be, in some ways, part of the catalyst as to why Eren hasn't completely broken already.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Like long ago, Eren would have broken down. Like back in season 1, even with the wall and the plugging the hole. Oh my God, yeah. But yeah, damn it, Eren, you just jinxed it. Yeah. And then our lovely chilling OP plays, and of course we're not going to go into that again because we've done all kinds of analysis on it already.
Yep.
And no audio for purposes, of course. But then we get even more of a like season 1 type callback here, where we get to see all the squad of the wits, utilizing their titans, their respective titans. It's beautiful. It's so good. It looks so wonderful, especially this bit with Annie as the
Annie
female
2D female Titan. Yep.
because it's been a while since we've seen.
It's been a long ass time.
The female Titan.
It's been 7 years.
Well, yes, I was meaning like yes,
Like-
literally. Yeah, us out
Right.
of the whole thing there. Yes, exactly. All right, but yeah. Here she is. There's just Mappa's doing a great job.
Yep. Oh yeah, they definitely are.
Zaldrix of the 100 bits. Porco is one of the many farmstead names that can mean they who tend to the homestead.
Gotcha. Okay, good to know.
It doesn't just mean pig necessarily. Achilles CR with the 100 bits. Sorry if this is slightly off topic, but I have a feeling like the My War and the part where Monster is chanted the OP is essentially going to be like a Fallen Angel equivalent in the season 3 part 1 OP. Is that it's one of the only distinctive English parts in the OP where reactors like you guys can sing along, which, by the way, I liked because it shows even more of your guys' passion. Thank you for the YouTube content and streams. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks, Achilles.
Thanks, Achilles.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
And then for any bits messages,
You'll read them?
I'll read them first just to make sure that
Okay, just
there's no spoiler stuff in there.
call it out when you're ready to read them.
Yep, we'll do.
Yeah, and let's just go over all the Titans rather quickly here. We get this is a good thing to have a little bit of confirmation for here because this is something that I was always a little bit curious for. But the female Titan can call pure Titans.
Right, and she did that when she was captured by Erwin.
Yep.
And that's how she escaped.
Yeah. And that's just something that feels a little bit like of a unique ability. But I was even a little bit curious just in like vague kind of aspects of, is this something that is related to, basically controlling Titans in some
like
way?
what Zeke does of like triggering the transformations and what the founding Titan can do. Yeah.
And we get a little bit of confirmation that it's essentially very, very different in that regard. We get to see basically what they ended up choosing to be a reason as to why Raina Brown got the Armored Titan.
Yeah,
And,
I love that as the explanation because Armored Titan, the shield. It suits Brown's perseverance.
His perseverance, y'all.
Oh my God.
This episode is a testament to how the limits of Reiner's perseverance kind of shape up to be. Yeah. Yeah.
Hold on just a sec.
Okay.
Hold on
Cool.
just a sec.
There are mods though as
Yep.
well.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. All right. So then, because what I would recommend is just asking the mods to do the thing first, or that before you have to grab the mouse specifically.
Oh,
because
okay.
I can't control the mouse when I'm doing the thing here.
I just want to get them taken care of quickly.
Yes, for sure. Okay, so then we have the Jaw Titan and calling it an assault weapon.
Yes.
Which is cool
Fast,
because
quick, and destructive.
one of the things that I was a little bit unsure about was, I gotta get a really good shot in here because there's so much good animation for the Jaw Titan here.
Yeah, it's hard to find a good still to stop on.
Yeah, exactly. It's in so much motion that it blurs a little bit.
Yep.
Oh, that's
there we
pretty
go.
good.
There we
pretty
go.
good.
That's a winner.
Check this puppy out.
Yeah, because
look at that.
Especially with back when it was Ymir, piloting it and everything. It was always one of those things where it's like, okay, that's a cool Titan and everything, right?
But it doesn't really look special.
But it doesn't really look special. It's like, okay, the fact that it can climb through the trees and stuff, that's good to know, But when it's like, the 9 Titans, right? And it's like, okay, cool. How does this one, that? It doesn't seem like it would really match up well, when compared to the Armored Titan or the female Titan or, the Colossal Titan. But then it's like, oh no, it's got its uses.
Yeah, those muscly ass arms right there.
Yep.
This is basically like
it's a dex-based Titan.
Dex-based.
Yeah, that's how I see it anyways.
I saw it as more of the equivalent of the crocodile, where it's basically really it is speedy, so I guess dex does apply there, but it's the crushing strength versus the bludgeoning strength.
Right. That precise strength. Yeah.
Grappling and stuff like that. So that's pretty terrifying, especially if this thing got on your shoulders and on your back.
Oh yeah.
And it was an enemy. Even as a Titan, you're
right. Yeah.
in
Exactly.
trouble.
That'd be a real pain in the ass if you're human.
Right.
The whole point that humans can even go up against Titans is because they can outmaneuver them, right? If suddenly they couldn't do that, they're screwed.
Yeah. And this feels very much like the Shadis kind of going and giving us the explanations and the the detailed statistics, if you will, on all of the characters of the 104th.
Yep.
Entrusted to the quick-witted Marcel. Yes. And the Beast Titan is as potent as ever. Its throwing technique is dreadful on another level. And then this line is dropped. Ah, okay, Attack on Titan. I see you've just given up entirely on, like, subtle foreshadowing at all.
No, it's not foreshadowing at this point because it's like it's information that the audience already knows, right? And it's just reminding the audience.
Who knows it?
But
Oh.
well, no,
Wait a minute.
What?
This is Magath talking here.
Uh-huh.
Magath knows that Zeke's blood has a hidden power?
Well, it seems to have a hidden power.
Okay, that's potentially huge. I didn't even think about it that way. I thought this was a little bit of a just a audience confirmation thing that it's like overtly confirmed that this is Zeke, not the Beast Titan.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I saw it as being something where it's like make sure now that we've gone to a whole different place and most of the characters are all new, for the characters that are recurring characters, let's make sure you're keeping track of all of the plot pieces and things like that might be relevant in the future.
Do you think this is a translation error? Nawakis? Oh, okay. Maybe talk with the mods
Could
to
be
see
potentially.
if there is actually a translation error and stuff like that, because that's something that's valid to bring up. If the subtitles are ever literally wrong in what they're saying,
I don't believe it's a translation error.
I know, but still, that's something that's very valid to pass along. Not in the manga it's said this way, but in the anime what they say is just literally not that.
Yeah.
That was one of those examples of where Falco and what was his name?
Oh, Falco and Colt being brothers.
Falco and Colt being brothers.
Right.
And just the subs we had at the time just didn't say that.
And that's why we switched back to the official subs.
Yeah, exactly. So the Cart Titan being the Endurance Titan. That was something that...
Four-legged makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't see it as that necessarily because of the way that Peak basically showed how tired she was. And,
well, she was a Titan for 2 solid months.
That's true.
Without going back to being human. Like, I can't remember what it was for Eren, but I feel like they brought it up at some point of like that he can't just be in his Titan form forever,
Yeah, I don't remember that.
But Peak was in her Titan form for 2 months.
2 months.
But
the thing I thought that they were going to do is that it's actually one of the fastest Titans because it runs on
probably
all
that
fours.
too. Yeah.
But then the Jaw Titan kind of runs on all fours too. So if anything, they're both the fast Titans.
They're both fast, but the Jaw is also fast and agile, whereas the Cart Titan probably can't do the side to side stuff as well.
Gotcha. So this is just a cool one here to keep in mind, since the Cart Titan is relatively new in our understanding of what it is and what it can do, and then it can be outfitted with equipment, and that just, that seems pretty awesome, just in general.
And it makes sense for the one that's like lowest to the ground and is the most stable, that would be the one you'd want to put equipment on, because, you know.
And then there's the Colossal Titan. This sequence here is just pure terror.
Yep.
Like, let's get it right here.
Yeah, good one.
So, one of the things that's kind of always struck me as being like just kind of an anime aesthetic thing is basically that the Titans kind of skip out on the rule of mechas, which is to show a transformation sequence a lot of the times.
Gotcha.
And they basically have lightning flashes, big boom explosion, and poof, there's a Titan.
Right. Sometimes they'll show a very quick, like, all right, the flesh forms.
The flesh forming. And that's more for just, like, when they want to showcase that glorious animation.
Yeah.
But this is one of those moments where it's like, oh, no. This is a mechanic that we use in the world now. This Titan is so big and expands so rapidly in its size and stuff.
It's basically a bomb going off.
That is basically a bomb going off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Put that underground, and oh boy.
Hey, kid. We're going to drop you in a box, right? And then we want you to prick your finger and wipe out,
Well,
Hundreds.
no,
Don't even think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
just prick your finger and do your thing.
Do your thing.
You know,
Everything will be daijoubu.
flying colors, A+.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, how many killed? That's not important.
Yeah, it's
you
not-
did
it's not-
great.
it's not
You
that
did
important.
great. You helped crush a nation.
In fact, like
you know?
really, really transform, like fast. Like
Yeah.
do it for your family. You know.
Yep.
Like yeah. They'll be so proud of you.
Right.
Holy shit! The way that he just has this neutral expression of, well, here it goes.
Okay. Yeah, and
right.
the way he's kind of in a fetal position, like squatting, yes, and
Well, he's in a cramped environment.
Right.
Yeah.
But still, the idea of like, well, okay, boom.
And then let's get that next shot up here so that you guys can. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, to think that the Colossal Titan is now on our side. Yep. Yep, Alex Booty, exactly.
and yet,
Posture check, thank you.
do we want something like this to ever need to be used? Like,
Do you think that Attack on Titan will end without this happening from Armin?
oh God. I mean, the things that our boy has already done, like, you know, it's like this doesn't seem too outlandish, you know?
I just gotta say, like, the fact that this happened in Shiganshina, though, like,
Oh
gives
yeah.
me a little bit of hope that the devastation isn't actually that crazy, because Shiganshina wasn't vaporized. It was just
A large portion of it was, but
a
yeah.
good portion of it was.
but
But that's not nuke level.
You're right. It's more of the aesthetic of showing the mushroom cloud because, you know, it helps communicate how terrifying it is.
Communicates the
Yeah.
the absolute destruction. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, the God of Destruction shot in the manga is a full page and it is absolutely iconic.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's incredible.
And they can't even do it like as a full thing.
Yeah, they
in
just
the
sort of
anime. They
pan
up on
Yeah.
it there.
Uh-huh.
Hoover will be able to handle it. I feel bad for those island devils.
Like, look at that.
Like this is
that feels like that makes me think like Iron Giant stuff, right? Where you've got the military people in there just watching this thing beyond understanding that they absolutely would not be able to stop, and it's just, oh,
yeah.
okay. Like,
Armin, I'm about to do what's called a pro gamer move. Ay. So that's that's this here. Just another kind of little like cool moment here.
oh, of Magath being like, I'm not entirely sure about this.
Yeah, exactly. Magath, I question the military's decision sending children to retake the Founding Titan sounds insane to me. And then you think, didn't those children just crush a nation before our eyes? And you realize, oh, that's what they just did. This wasn't just a
test, like go out somewhere random in the wilderness and you know
do that.
Yeah, no, this was a target. Because I mean, you might as well kill two birds with one stone, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Right. God. But everything looks wonderful in these scenes. It's just
Oh yeah, visually it's a treat.
a visual treat. Yeah.
Yep.
And then we cut to Porco just frustrated, angry as hell.
Because of course he is.
Yeah. And the part that's like really brutal about this, while we can laugh about the fact of, oh, Reiner called him the nickname. He's Puck, you're the worst. I really love the themes of family in Attack on Titan. You can look at it from the lineage sense in that there are a lot of people that pass on traits, abilities, teachings, all kinds of stuff to the next generation, so to speak.
Right.
But rarely in Attack on Titan have they dealt with the siblings dynamic.
Yep.
Because most of the people in this story are in the brothers beyond blood kind of thing like that.
Right.
Brothers
and in the one
sisters or
situation
sisters where it goes beyond like immediate family. It's about we are brothers in arms, you know?
right. And even in the situation where it's closest to being siblings before this, well, they're not really siblings.
You freaking what is it? How do you say it? Aramikasa?
Aramika.
Aramika shipper. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. But guys, this is the moment where Porco here realized that he is going to outlive his brother.
Yep. And in fact, not only is he going to outlive his brother, but there's a good amount of time of what limited amount his brother has left that he's not going to be able to see him.
Nope.
Like,
Who knows how long the mission is going to last, right?
Right. Now, they, of course, wouldn't have thought it would take 5 years.
No.
Right?
No.
But that still being said, something that he worked insanely hard for, he wanted, right?
Yep. He deserved in a lot of ways.
He deserved. And also, it also involves his brother, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Nope, not going to happen.
He's
And you
been-
can see that Reiner's drinking it up, right? Like
Oh, yeah.
like
Reiner
he's
is-
enjoying this.
Reiner is not being sympathetic in the slightest bit here.
Nope.
This is something where Reiner got what he wanted. He basically did hey, I'm the main character, so screw you and logic. I just kicked reason to the curb and did the impossible, did
Right.
the unthinkable.
Exactly.
And now I'm going to.
I was
basically
vindicated.
just-
Yeah.
Yep. So I'm gonna reconnect with my family. I'm gonna make everything better and right, and I'm gonna be the hero. I'm gonna save the world, and it'll be wonderful.
Yep.
But the perspective that we're given here is thus that I can't really be upset at Porco here. I can't really look at this and see it as something where like either of them are truly at fault here. They're in a really disgusting situation that they're forced to do this at all. And just God, that's awful. And then to know what we know later that Marcel set this up. Yeah.
Yeah. And the fact that Marcel sets it up, that's one thing. Letting other people know that he set it up, right? That's another. Now, I can't remember, was it Marcel that mentioned it, or was it Annie that basically figured it out, you know?
Marcel mentions it. We'll
Okay.
go into that later.
Gotcha.
So we end up seeing the four of them heading off to go be big damn heroes, sir.
That's right.
And yeah, remember this? You know, like remember these moments and stuff where the people would all be just so excited about, you know, oh, they're going off to war. Yeah.
Yep. This feels like the inverse of basically when the Survey Corps comes back at the beginning of season 1, right? Where, you know, everyone's all gathered to see the heroes, right? But instead of it being, you know, oh, abysmal failure and death and despair, it's, wow, this is going to be so great. But of course we know, no, this isn't going to go well at all, right? And you could almost see, like,
Look at Annie.
oh yeah, Annie does not look happy about this in the slightest.
Nope.
But like, and you see like a bunch of other young people sort of cheering them on, right? That are Eldians, you know? They've got the armbands and everything, right?
Yep.
And I'll bet you, even though the show didn't like do that same kind of focus on them that we got from the other kids when they were dealing with the Turkey Titan, right? And they were on top of the wall.
Right.
But I'll bet you that some of those kids are looking on them and being like, wow, I knew they could do it. Wow, I wish that was me.
Yeah, I wish
wow.
that was me, yeah.
You know?
They're Aaron basically watching on.
Yep.
That's me.
But we know how this is going to end.
We know how this goes. That's the lovely thing about backstories, prequels, and stuff like that, is we can look at it with all that added context.
And the tears in Reiner's eyes as he waves to his mom, aren't you proud of me? You know?
Yep. I'll finally have them be proud of me.
Yep.
We have mom here. I'm going to rapid fire go through a bunch of shots here. We have mom here, little tears in her eyes, knowing that her son is basically going to do so much for their family, and he's already done so much.
And he only has 13 years left to live.
Yeah. Never said she was perfect. Then we get to see Reiner looking on at her, and it's just, ugh.
Yep.
God, it hurts. Then
Then we get to
Twist. Dad.
Dad. Uh-huh.
Oh my god. Just the idea that Reiner would know it so quickly.
Right.
He doesn't know what he looks like.
Uh-huh.
Like,
But he's
in
able
some
to
ways-
piece it together.
In some ways, this is something that I feel like is kind of the best kind of plot convenience, you know? Is the idea
Oh,
that
sure.
this episode is trying to move things along rather quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And you could just not have him ever see his father.
Sure.
And that could be a huge part of it. And heck, you could save that for when he's older or something, when
Yeah.
we're in the present. But no, he sees someone walk away that just makes him go, wait a minute,
Hold on.
hold on.
No, that was... My mom used to spend a lot of time there.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
He puts the pieces together,
Right.
quickly runs over, and yeah. Yeah, and he just rapid fire spitfire gives the full
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my
We're
God.
honorary Marlians now. It's all fine, right? We can be together and be a happy family, right? Like, this is... Even putting aside the child soldier aspect of everything,
Mhm.
this would still be emotionally a doozy,
a
right?
dick punch.
Because you can totally see this, you know, in any other story setting, whatever, where it's the I was told things about the parent that I don't know.
Yep.
And maybe they were sort of the happy lies to make me not really think about it too much or whatever, or maybe the person genuinely believed it. Who knows? But then suddenly the cold hard truth sets in of everything's not so rosy as you might have thought. You know, that figure that you had maybe built up in your mind to be kind of idealistic and stuff, they're actually not. They're a
Yeah.
person just like you and just like everyone else. And they've got all kinds of issues.
Yeah, and then we get this just ugly side of
Uh-huh.
humanity.
Yep.
Of just
Yep.
pure fear. Like, this guy is terrified right now. He thinks that this is all some giant, that's just method of revenge.
Right. Oh, yeah.
That's just...
Well said,
Ugh.
Mordred. Yeah, the worst part is when his father says that Reiner is endangering his family, a.k.a. not you, Reiner.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
I
Yep.
mean, I'm going to get that part here. Now her kid's a warrior. Yeah. If they find out where you're from, my family is screwed. And you're going to get me hanged. I'm running the hell away. Away from you and your damn Eldian mother.
Wow. Yeah. Mhm.
And then we cut. And
Mhm.
we're back on the...
On the boat,
on the
they're
boat.
leaving. I'll be waiting for you. Oh, boy.
That's right. Even without a father.
Right, yeah,
I'll
exactly.
Still the chosen warrior of the armored titan.
Yeah, even if you're an honorary Marlian, in the end, you're still an Eldian. Right. It's that, you know, it's similar thing to that whole Code Geass thing of like, honorary Britannian. And it's like, no, it's on paper only. No one actually treats you any different, really.
Yep. And I just gotta say, we got little moments and stuff like this. This show looks really dang good.
Yep.
There's a lot of people I know who I have to literally convince to come back and watch Attack on Titan.
Mm-hmm.
And every season it gets easier.
Yeah.
Like I hope you guys like understand that one of the funniest things for me about Attack on Titan is that I am such a big freaking shill for this show and none of you guys really see it because it's like there's all these random friends I have and stuff who are like, dude, life sucks. Like I don't have anything to do. And I'm like, allow me to introduce myself with Attack on Titan.
Would you, instead of thinking about your own suffering, would you like to watch characters suffer?
Yeah, yes, indeed. And people are like, Attack on Titan, I kind of quit after season 1. That basically the whole thing of they were tired of waiting, you know?
Uh-huh. Which,
And
understandable.
every single time they get back in, they binge all the way through and catch up to wherever we're at.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really excited to use the final season is out. So, yeah, how about go check it out? Yeah.
That is a great point. James Sariel.
Uh-huh.
Or sorry, You can see there's even a parallel of Reiner and his dad to Historia and her mom, both bastard children causing all sorts of difficulties for them later on. Which, even though Reiner didn't know this,
Sure.
does make it kind of interesting that Reiner, was like, oh, I'm going to marry that girl, right? Didn't know about that, was just thinking, hot blonde, right?
Right.
But,
But
yeah, thanks for pointing that out.
yeah, good stuff. But yeah, the show looks just even better.
Mm-hmm.
We get to see basically that on the first day, they basically
much.
had their last little meal together.
Uh-huh.
And then, Marcel gets eaten the very next morning.
Yep.
And at this moment,
Like, talk about bad luck.
yeah, really
Oh my
bad
God.
luck.
They just happened to camp at the one place where a Titan is buried. Like,
One of the things that I thought a lot more about after watching the episode again was this little comment from Bert here from
oh,
Bear
yes.
Turtle.
Isn't this one lovely?
Yeah. So think about what they know, right? What they know is what the Founding Titan is capable of. This is something that a lot of our characters from parodies they had no idea about any of this shit. So Titans showing up, that are capable of this, just breaks their whole world. Now there is a secret society within the walls and stuff that knows all about all this and everything, and that's used as their like, we'll press the button. Don't you guys come anywhere near us, or we'll press the button.
We'll do it.
We'll do it. But these kids are aware of what they're up against, which is kind of necessary for the brainwashing in order for them to truly fear them
believe
as
it.
devils.
Yeah, they won't be effective if they don't believe in what they're doing.
Right. But Bert starts to question what they've been told by saying, but it would stand to reason, right, that if we broke the wall, they might do it and end everything, right?
Right, like they might do it too soon.
They might just panic and do that. And I really love this kind of logical, just kind of question here that Bert brings up, because this is doubt.
Right.
The brainwashing is not perfect, guys.
And if they don't, if they're right, and the king doesn't use the Founding Titan after we break the wall, then do we need to get the Founding Titan? Like, if after we attack, after we do the thing that they say, if you do this, then we'll do this thing. If they won't do the thing after we do the thing that they said not to do,
Yeah.
it doesn't quite add up to me.
Yeah, it's one of those things where Bertolt was kind of shown to be the quiet, competent, and there's issues inside. Like, even when we had season 2 happen, we realized that he's the Colossal Titan. There's still this part of him that at that point you're not fully sure where his heart lies in this. And over the course of season 2, we got to see where it is at. Someone come find us.
Yep.
But then also what we end up getting in season 3, part 2, where we actually see him go out. And this moment here is really important, because look who it is right after who kind of does the don't worry about it, don't think about it.
Yeah.
Hey, loyalty. All right, Orange Boy.
Don't think. Just,
Yeah.
do what you're
Trust
told.
Marley's research.
Yep.
So,
Which also,
yeah. Go for it.
one of the things that's hilarious about this,
Yeah.
trust Marley's research. I'm sure that they've probably been able to send little scouts here and there,
Right.
but I don't think they would have actually really
Researched.
researched. Like, how much research could they actually do?
Well, no, they have history, basically.
Yeah.
It's more the trust Marley's research on history. We are using past events
Right.
and analysis on said past events to draw present conclusions, which
Yep.
I'll just say, that's not a good basis for the future. It's something that will eventually fail you. But they are probably ones who did learn from history and chose a very extreme response based on that. So I just found this whole little interaction here
Yeah.
a bit telling.
Like even just for the motivation side of things, right? Okay, even if you trust Marley's research, the fact that they're basically saying we are going to risk the fact that the whole world could be flattened because we want the power to flatten the world, that doesn't seem like a save the world kind of motivation. Like I mean, it could be potentially because we don't.
I see how they
we
think
trust
about it.
ourselves more than them. You know, like I get that.
Yeah. The logic is rather simple. It's we're good people, so
Right.
it's okay if we have ultimate WMD
Because
weapons,
we won't use it
because
badly.
we won't use it badly.
But the other people,
Other people, no. We can't
yeah.
trust other people,
Right,
even
it's-
though they haven't used it for
100 years.
And when they used it
You know.
back then, that's actually the
Also,
other thing is
also,
we don't know what they actually know about. We don't know what history they've been taught specifically.
that is very true.
we
But
know
also,
we know in broad strokes, but
we know
yeah,
in broad
yeah,
strokes.
yeah.
But also, all things considered, Paradis, yes, there's the history of, you know, the Eldians conquering everything and being, you know, rulers and dictators and all that stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
But that being said, for your practice, you guys just crushed a nation. And it's like you totally understand that Bertolt isn't actually going to change what he's doing here because they're all trapped, right? But that doubt of like,
Yeah.
are we actually doing the right thing here?
And then Marcel basically doubles down on what Reiner's saying and drops this. That's right. We can't turn back. Oh, and then he goes into why. This moment. Tomorrow we reach the wall. And Annie kind of has this knowing look of like, yeah. And Reiner, huh? What? Are you having second thoughts about killing the devils? What? What is this? Have you forgotten what they've done? Like, we're the world's chosen warriors sent to punish the island devils. God, I love the way he so believes this. And yet you can tell the way that he's blustering and talking it up as if like he's also trying to remind himself.
Sure.
But then you see the look in his eyes and yeah, he's serious about this. But then the guilt hits Marcel.
Right. And
I love that
he apologizes.
it ends up being guilt here that brings this about. Because one of the things that's going to define Reiner's sundering into who he is
and who
he's
was.
not.
Yeah.
And who he was,
Yeah.
is basically
guilt.
Marcel's the guilt here. And Marcel tells him.
Yeah.
God, this is
Like-
just a great moment.
Like-
because Reiner is kind of fulfilling that I'm the protagonist.
Yeah.
And I yell the thing out that we need to do.
I
so that
believed
everyone will
hard-
follow me.
I believed hard enough and it was rewarded. I'm a warrior now, right? This is all we have to do, right?
Yeah.
Not only does Marcel do the thing that is, one, just a bad thing to do as the leader of the group, right? Because you don't tell him about that, sure, when you've already returned, right? You don't tell him about that the day before you're supposed to go commit genocide, right? Like that's,
Well, he needed to wait.
well,
Otherwise, this might not have worked.
wait.
Marcel couldn't tell him until they were in the mission.
Oh no, yeah. He couldn't tell them until they were in the mission. But I'm saying, really,
Yeah.
what Marcel should have done if he wanted to get this off his chest. But this just again shows
I
his
see.
own weakness, right? That he's not able to do that.
Oh, yeah, he's burdened. He sent Reiner to die. basically.
Absolutely, exactly, right. Yeah, and here he is hearing the person that he sent to die saying, "This is absolutely what we should be doing." So he tells him instead of waiting to tell him later.
Yeah, but Marcel, you are a goddamn like courageous legend in that you were willing to do this kind of self-sacrificial act, even though you manipulated others to basically have them die, so
Right.
that your brother could be saved.
And then it's the guilt of the fact that he betrayed Reiner like that. That is what causes him probably to give his life to save him.
Yeah, if I sacrifice that warrior over there, will my brother be free?
God.
I'm just saying, the themes of this show are really consistent throughout.
They are.
This is a really,
Yep.
really strong moment for where Marcel basically channeled a little bit of trading lives for the greater good, and it's eating him up inside because he knows what he did is ultimately like going to ruin this kid and the fact that the others are just like, oh shit, like you did this. And Reiner's just like, wait, what? And,
I just wanted to protect my brother.
And isn't it wonderful in a terrifying way how a lot of what makes humans driven to do like specific things boil down to very simple one statement little phrases of like, no, this is it.
Right, because it's not about the world, it's about his world.
Yep.
Right? And when it comes right down to it, humans don't really care about the big picture other than how it affects them. They can try and care about the big picture
And get pretty close.
and get pretty close.
Yeah.
Get pretty close.
There's a lot of great people out there that are able to sacrifice themselves for something bigger.
Right. But when push comes to shove, and this isn't necessarily empirically true or anything
course
like
not.
that,
No.
but you could definitely take the perspective that the reason why a lot of people stay in line and do those things of thinking about the greater good and whatnot is because they don't want there to be any negative effects on themselves, or they see there being potential positive effects on themselves by taking that approach.
Yeah.
And here, well, yeah,
Yeah.
Marcel was willing to sacrifice a close friend of his because his brother's closer.
Yeah. And the fact that this is something that he just
He can't
can't
bear
accept.
it. Yeah, he can't hold it in. Yep. He needs to apologize because and I think one of the reasons that Marcel did this is actually because he's trying to he's in this situation, he's thinking about Reiner, not about the mission.
Yep.
Because he's basically saying, if you do have any regrets, because you don't seem to have any right now, right? You're not having any doubts about this, but you probably should. So I'm going to tell you what I did before we go commit genocide, so that if at that point you have any doubts, even though it's too late because you only have 13 years left to live now, then at least you won't go and do what we're about to do.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Shore is saying, just like Grisha cursed Eren, Marcel also cursed Reiner to save his brother. Yep.
Yep.
And it's painful. So then we have a fun, like, kind of point of transition, but basically saying that Reiner, in some ways, kind of, like, it wasn't that we fast skipped to a sunrise rather quickly and he just stood there all this time. This conversation took, 4 hours or something. But it's just this moment of, why? Why are you apologizing? And
and
then during
as
all
he says
this,
that, and Ymir wakes up. Yep.
God,
I love how even with how Ymir's drawn in her Titan form there, that it's different than how she is after. Like, the mouth is smaller, the teeth are, like, level, like, and flat, She doesn't seem to have the claws or anything. But yeah, then we get that. That's an image that'll be burned into your brain. Not just yours, Reiner, but also Porco's, because he remembers it from the other perspective. Actually, well,
he remembers it from both perspectives.
Both perspectives, yeah.
Probably more so from, Ymir's perspective.
Probably.
Because of the levels of indirection of
right,
eating
exactly.
a Titan that ate another Titan shifter and stuff. So,
Yeah.
Just wholesome Attack on Titan things. We're all
Exactly.
connected paths, y'all. And it's yeah. It's just just another wonderful thing there. But Reiner.
Well, so
here you go.
So here's the point, Runix, and how pointless it was since Porco took on his brother's curse 5 years later. But was it pointless? He bought 5 years for his brother.
He did.
Now, those 5 years were 5 years of his brother worrying about him and things like that, and wishing that he was out there and all of that.
God.
But he did get his brother 5 more years.
Mm-hmm. Also, this part just killed me on rewatch. I didn't even notice it really that much in the discussion, or I didn't bring it up as much in the discussion. But the fact that he still called out for Marcel Like
Yeah.
he
Oh,
like,
yeah,
he didn't even
yeah.
realize what had happened.
Right. He's already starting to compartmentalize.
He's already starting to compartmentalize. Exactly. Yep. You took the words right out of my mouth.
Yep,
That he's
yep,
already
yep.
basically starting to see and just be like,
Right. Because
like,
his whole world got
Jesus.
shattered by what Marcel told him. Then his world gets shattered again because not only is his belief in all of that stuff not enough, but as a result of his own inadequacies that he didn't even realize that he truly had, because he just got vindicated for them. That it doesn't matter what inadequacies you have, you still won because of belief, right? Then he has both of those right next to each other. Like, he's had a day here.
yeah.
Yeah, Reiner straight up just needs head pats at this point. Like, head pats and therapy.
Yeah. But he might literally be getting like Titan head pats pretty soon for all we know. Like that's how close in proximity he is to his rival, basically.
Yeah, he was literally like 50 feet away from Aaron when...
And these facial
He had the
expressions,
conversation
y'all.
with Falco.
These facial expressions.
Yep. Like,
God, this just looks so dang good.
I know, I remember a lot of people when I would try and show them Attack on Titan, and I would show them like the first episode or something, and we have the mom, you know, and the arm of her son and things like that, and all the dramatic screaming and shouting and things like that, and they would say like, oh, this feels a bit overly dramatic, right? and I get why they had a problem with it. I get why they say that, you know, because they're not used to anime being dramatic in general, but then also these characters that they don't know, you know, all of a sudden just hard to screaming and bawling and things like that. But this here, that's... How do you handle... You don't handle something like that.
Nope. No.
Like... And he was so terrified that he thought that the others got eaten too because he had ran so fast, because he was so terrified that they actually weren't able to keep up.
And I gotta say, the voice actor for Reiner killed it this bit here when he said, "This is where I'm going to die," and then Annie kicks him, and the way he flops over, and that whole time there, he's screaming and panicking.
Yep.
There's really like, okay. So I think on some level I read a bit too much into Attack on Titan scenes and draw connections to ones where there's not necessarily some that are intended to be. But at this moment, Reiner just experienced someone push him out of the way and saving his life, but that person died because they did that.
Yep.
Reiner immediately after that, panic runs away in a haze. Just like barely gets away, thinks that all three of them got eaten.
Right.
He's alone.
And then something kicks him.
Then something kicks him. Boom!
Yeah.
Remember that? Remember that part in episode 2?
Oh, yeah.
This is his boom here.
Well, and the thing is that I'm pretty sure, you know, that even if Annie isn't thinking of it in that same way necessarily, oh, yeah, she wants him to have this reaction. Because you weren't supposed to be here in general. We all could die because of you, because you weren't supposed to be here. And you just made it worse because now Marcel's dead. Like,
oh, I understand.
We are probably going to die because of what you did.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm going to kick you.
Yeah. And I just love it because I understand it. And I also understand Reiner's just pain and...
Oh, yeah, and absolute terror.
And absolute terror here.
Yep.
This is...
Yep.
All right. Okay. And she tries to break with a little bit of levity of, you know, this is the first you actually beat me in a long distance race.
I see that more as an accusation. Like, the one thing you're good at. Like,
I like that too.
You're worthless. You're so worthless that
levity doesn't have to be for the other person, though.
Oh, sure.
Levity is more of just a thing, I think, for
herself.
The situation, the air. It clears the air. So she's basically taking the airspace by saying, okay, now it's my turn to talk.
Yeah, because I have some things to say.
So I'm going to try and bring a little bit of equilibrium to it with some comedy first, which is, yes, absolutely at Reiner's expense. Then if we took out that Titan, we wouldn't have lost Jaw. I love that she's already, like, separating it. Yeah. And she says Jaw.
Right.
And then lost Jaw, and then she just, shit, now Marcel's gone for good.
Right. Because it's like, oh, the mission. Wait. Oh.
No, that was a person.
Right.
That was
a
my
person.
friend.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yep.
Yep. God.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ah,
Mm-hmm.
this is just really good.
Oh
This is
yeah.
really good.
Oh yeah. If not for Ymir, Attack on Titan would have been so different.
Oh yeah,
So different.
so different. And then Reiner's trying to do they said there wouldn't be Titans this far out.
Mm-hmm.
And I mentioned this in the discussion, but I'm going to bring it up here for those of you that, might not watch the discussion. That's okay. I'm assuming most of you are the kind of people that do, because you're here.
Right. This is just one big
This is just
discussion.
one big discussion.
Yeah.
But Annie brings up something that I thought was a very clever bit of writing. It answers questions before they need to be asked by
Right.
the audience to basically wonder why certain things
Why
were
things went
decided.
the way they went. Yeah.
Exactly. Let's find Jaw and leave. They would have changed back to human. I love also that she switches back into mission mode of
Right.
this is Jaw, not Marcel.
Uh-huh. Well, because Marcel's gone for
'Cause
good.
Marcel is
but we
gone.
can still get Jaw.
Yeah. And
Yep.
this bit here where things shift is really powerful. Because without Marcel to lead, the mission is doomed.
Oh
And
man.
you can already see the gears completely off their hinges,
Uh-huh.
off their little pipes, railings, whatever. In
But they're
Reiner's
still
head.
sort of spinning as they tumble down.
Oh yeah. And they're carving up his insides right now.
Yep. Like-
they're making a mess.
Like the mantra, the general proverb is writers, make your characters suffer, break them, make them feel pain, be ruthless and merciless with them. But god damn.
So the mission, it's doomed, right? Well, how about if someone else leads this? If someone else basically takes this this mission on them, and then they have the wait moment here, and you see the boy
Reiner's desperation.
and the scene, the hand reached out. The same way they've done multiple times so far in this season, but also in previous stuff as well with Attack on Titan. No, we got to continue the mission. The one reason why he's here to help his family and stuff, something that he's not even sure is actually going to work anymore.
Uh-huh.
He has to cling on to that. So
Because
we
that's all he has
can't.
left.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's crazy that it won't be really until Ymir gets caught at the end of season 2 that she kind of has that moment of, I'll go back with you. I understand. I know that you can't go back alone.
Right.
Because she has Marcel's memories at that point, guys.
Yep. And not
She
and-
understands not because she's Ymir and has the past
Uh-huh.
stuff of
Right.
being over there.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
it's because she has Marcel's memories.
And by the way, something I want to point out here, Marcel's memories, they recently became Titans, right? It's the let's make fresh Titans and then send them off on a mission,
Yep.
right? That way if there are any delays, they can spend as much time as they need, right? That means that that's something that Marcel also would have been able to pick up just as a theoretical, not even that knowing that this thing would happen, right? But just if anything like that were to happen, yeah, they'd be failures, they'd be eaten, unless somehow they were able to bring back something. Like, oh man,
Yeah. God.
yeah.
Ugh. So then they basically decide, no, we're going to do this. Like, oh yeah, if we go back now, you'll just get eaten by the next warrior.
Which is
And
true.
he kind of
nods.
nods with a gulp, kind of a,
Uh-huh.
well, I'm trying not to reveal it, but as I gulp, I also nod. I felt like that was a subconscious thing almost.
Oh,
where he
sure.
accidentally was like, yeah. He's like,
You're
oh
right.
yeah, if we go back now, yeah, just give me that. Not that I give a shit, which totally understand. You guys are all trying to survive and stuff. But that line right there basically sealed the fact that the mission was going to come down to either we do the mission or Reiner is going to try to kill you, like right here. And then this is where
You
Reiner,
think only I will?
you think only I will. And I love that she kind of has this like, what? Really? Like,
Yeah.
you're going to try and convince me? Like, I've always loved like
huh?
Annie's like disdain looks.
Right.
When Annie smirks and stuff, I get a little bit of a chuckle inside because for some reason I find this kind of cute in a way. Just the
Okay.
like, huh, really? Like,
Well,
what-
yeah, and
show
the-
me this big brain idea that you have and stuff.
Right, and the juxtaposition of these child soldiers that are about to go commit genocide, right? And everything's gone to shit. And she has enough snark left in her to go, huh? Yeah.
Yeah, and Reiner has already broken that. You know that I'll only get the blame for running away. You guys are that certain you won't get eaten too? Which
Because
at
he's
this
like, I
point-
know the doubts are there.
Right. What I love at this point here is that catching Jaw won't be easy either. I actually disagree with his sentiment here. I think what's actually kind of brilliant about this is that this bit here, they saying catching Jaw won't be easy because Jaw is supposed to be quick and stuff. That's assuming a couple things regarding the fact that this Titan, who is a regular Titan right now, won't just instantly, transform and just become the Jaw Titan necessarily, and will definitely leave a trail because it's a big ass Titan. They could have eventually potentially caught up to Jaw here, and yet it wasn't that Reiner's logic was sound. It's that she comes over and kicks the shit out of him, and then she thinks
gets
it's
back up.
over.
Right.
And then Reiner's perseverance is shown
Yep.
on full display, and I can't wait to show you guys that bit because on a rewatch, this scene just gives me chills of the highest order. If he uses power and ran, our Titans couldn't catch up. You controlled the hold on, what does he say before that? And they never catch up. You control. Oh, saying they can't control it right after becoming. And Bert, I think, is right here.
Yeah, well, like that's what it was with Aaron.
Right,
But then he's like, you
Wait.
controlled the Colossal Titan, no problem.
which is probably also true.
Yeah, so it's the, oh, no, there is a reasonable doubt, potentially.
Right.
We might not be able to do it.
And if they are actually doomed, then they should actually go back. Like they should for the missions. Like the mission's sake would be mission failed, we'll get them next time kind of thing. But they are personally motivated because their own lives are at stake here.
And especially for Reiner, because it was his goof, right? It was his mistake that caused this to happen. They might be kind of okay. But yeah, then Annie's being like,
Well, yeah.
why now? We needed you to be like this when Titan was coming to eat you.
Yeah. And I love that this is her thinking that he's calm right now. But this is his desperation.
No.
But showing in some ways that Reiner's desperation in there somewhere is a leader.
Yeah.
When he gets desperate.
Right, in a weird way, that's where he thrives.
Yeah,
That's where the best gets brought out of him. I don't think necessarily that this Reiner, if he had grown up the way he was, would have been able to be a very good dad for Gabby and the rest of them.
Yeah.
I don't think so. There is some good somewhere, a silver lining that's come out of all of Reiner's suffering.
Yeah.
Is it worth it? Hell no. But,
No, definitely
but at
not.
least it's there
And then Annie proceeds.
to kick the shit out of him.
Yes. Yeah, like the
Look
way
at that face.
the way Attack on Titan does faces when people are just angry and just full of that frustration. This is yeah. This is pretty
Which, by the way, this is just another potential parallel between Reiner and Eren because Eren also got the shit kicked out of him, and then, yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
And she basically tears down his body and his entire
His ideals, his
faux
beliefs,
and
everything. Yep.
Yeah, they're all liars. Everyone only thinks about themselves, which is true. That's
And-
what he's doing here.
And great characterization for Annie because she believes it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm no different. I've got to get home alive.
Yep.
If you feel guilty, just die. Take all the blame and die. Which is just what happens.
Yeah.
He takes it all, and Reiner
dies.
dies.
Uh-huh.
I think there has never been in Attack on Titan better buildup for a character like death, if you will. Like, of all the deaths that have happened in Attack on Titan, I think the one thing that they've always like hit just shy of perfection isn't even the right word, but just like that really cream of the crop execution is basically the build up for the death. There was a lot of that, I would say, with Armin. But
sure. Yeah. Literal deaths. Right.
yes. But in
there's-
some ways this was the best death we've gotten thus far
Yeah.
in Attack
Right,
on
it's the
Titan.
metaphorical death, right? It's the kind of thing that's been being built up for Eren, right? Of can he hold on?
Yeah.
Right?
Look at this shit.
Yep.
Would you just look at it?
Mm-hmm.
This is Attack on Titan, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the show.
Ain't it lovely?
And it just peachy. Like this shot right here.
That's the money shot.
This is like, I have to know, Jacob, in the manga, did you like turn the page and see this? Did you like see it ahead of you on the page?
I believe it was a page turn.
It
I
was?
can't remember. Because I was also reading it online, so when you're reading it online versus in a physical substance, then it doesn't have that same kind of effect. But, yeah.
Yeah. This is
Can't achieve anything without sacrificing something. Yep.
This is probably the moment where I'll bet you anything, Annie, if she had like a second to think more, would have been like, Bertolt. Like would have been like, Bertolt, stop him. Like
Right.
basically,
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
like, like the fact that they're all so frazzled here is probably the only reason why she didn't just, fist thrust, like palm thrust into his chin and like break his jaw or something here.
Right, because we know that on a physical level, Annie is way better than Reiner, right? But
But
I don't care
Reiner's
if you have
not
balls
here
of
right
steel.
now.
Like you would pause seeing something like that.
Yeah, and I just gotta say, they go full in on the animation to show her turning, and they give like 2 additional quick frames to show her like turning to seeing this monstrosity. So I want you to see all of them.
Yeah.
This is the oh no,
Oh shit.
oh
Yeah.
shit kind of moment.
Right.
Just oh my god. And I think there's another one in there that it's even faster. Like it's really quick. I just want to make sure I get it. There. Oh no, I guess then it's just here.
Yeah. All one quick scene.
And yeah. And he starts choking her out. And I cannot be even like scared of this because I understand it. Like it breaks my heart.
Yeah, I know,
Like-
right?
like-
There's the part of it that's chilling and like, like there's that part of you that might be like, oh wow, look at
Right.
Reiner's resolve here. But no.
No. What I think that is really important, like with this here, is that I can understand if this is something that surprised you, and you're like, that is so messed up, and it just disturbs you. It gave me the shivers, right?
Oh yeah.
But because the build up to it was so good, I perfectly understood it.
Right.
This was just the moment of,
oh,
oh my god, like this.
we've gone there.
This is it.
Yep.
This is what scared Bertolt into basically ever really confronting Reiner about this ever.
Sure.
Like,
sure.
think
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah,
Bertolt
'cause-
knew all along that Reiner was broken inside.
Yep.
And he saw probably multiple times little moments of where he's like, yeah.
Yeah, but even if you do have the chance to confront him about it, because again, you're undercover with the enemy, but even if you did have that chance, are you sure you want to? Because you don't know what you're dealing with. Will you get Reiner or will you get Marcel?
Reiner can't kill himself because he's already dead. No meme, no joke. That's like straight up just basically accurate. He's living basically for others. He has nothing that he's living for himself for.
Right.
It's
Empty
why
shell.
when he recites things at the table, he's so lacking in awareness as to how the people around him respond because he's just reciting things like a dead robot or a dead person or a zombie or a robot or something.
Yeah.
But that's just one of the like horrifying things they have. We need Marcel, then I'll be Marcel. And then Bertolt can only get out this.
Yeah.
Like,
Please
I
find
feel-
us.
I feel for all 3 of them. But just the idea that Bertolt can't even stoop down to try and help.
Right. The girl that he is in love with.
The girl that he's crushing on, that he's probably, I would say, developing more the feelings for.
Right.
I would say that partially
They're
Bert
12,
probably,
you know.
Yeah,
like,
he's 12, and also, like, they spent 5 years being an in-group. I think feelings between the three of them got complicated no matter, you know,
what kind of area they were going to go into.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And, yeah. This is just something where I wanted to draw the connection to Reiner getting into basically a fight of sorts earlier. Marcel's not here to break them up.
What are you talking about? Marcel's
Marcel's
right
right there now, the one causing this. That's right.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
And Marcel's the leader, right? We follow Marcel's orders.
And oh, yeah, just that casual information that Armin also probably has gotten all of this from eating Bertolt. You know, so just, you know, extra stuff.
Yeah, and then I just wanted to get this disturbing shot in again another time, but
Right.
This becomes their story. Let's go back together to our hometown.
Yeah.
By continuing with the mission, by doing the doomed thing, basically, and yeah. Anyway.
One of the things that, before you go off of that image,
Oh yeah.
one of the things that I love about it, it's a small detail. But I would think that if you're choking someone out and talking to them, you'd be looking at them.
Oh,
right?
He's not looking at.
He's
her.
not. He's looking straight up into the sky at nothing.
At nothing.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
true.
he is so completely just holding on to this that he's not even observing the world around him.
Yeah.
He's just doing and speaking.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. And God. You feel Franny. And then on that day, humanity received a grim reminder,
Yep.
and Bertolt broke everything.
And the rest is history.
And then this kind of choice scene to have here happens.
Yeah.
We get Smiling Titan. Hey, Dinah Fritz. Hello.
Hi.
As if we'd missed you.
Right.
It's almost like we have to see this Titan at least once every season. Like
I know, right?
Like,
yeah.
Like
Wait,
even
1, 2.
yeah, no, literally like
The only one that we didn't would have been the first part of season 3, but that's still technically
that's still
season 3.
technically season 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one of the things that I think was just a general like theory that like I had and a lot of the community had was people were wondering like how the hell does there suddenly like become basically this uninhabited space rather quickly? And I don't think it was the case where suddenly Titans just surged through the hole in the gate or anything like that. But since we know now what Titans are, the fact then that this would have happened, but the first Titan to come through the gates opening now was not just any Titan, but it was the one looking to find her husband again.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, that'll ha.
Yeah.
And then this just little detail here. Bertolt's smart boy, right?
He's like, oh,
He's
that could be bad.
terrified.
Yeah.
But this happens. She walks past him.
Huh?
And he just has this
What?
moment of like,
Mm-hmm.
like, I love it because he shouldn't know. He shouldn't know anything about why this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's one of the things I think they would avoid telling any of the wits. Basically, is about the royal blood kind of situation in
Sure.
general, right?
Probably. I
Probably.
think so. Yeah.
Like it just feels like something that would be like if they. Well, no, I guess Colt mentions like. You're like the founding Titan.
Oh, sure.
stuff.
Yeah. It's like you've got royal blood or something, you know, or yeah.
It's not like you have royal blood.
Or yeah, it's not
anything.
like you have royal blood. Yeah.
So no, I guess they would know. I guess
right,
they
which
would
makes
know.
sense because they'd want to make sure that everyone knows to, if you see someone with royal blood, report it, kind of a thing. But
Raul
Yeah.
5, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub for 14 months.
yes,
Appreciate
thank you.
it. But that's its own just little
Yep.
casual moment there of
Mm-hmm.
And we get to see inside Reiner's head.
What he's thinking
What he's
as
thinking.
he breaks down the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
My father didn't want any part of this. Should never have been chosen. I should have died today. Why do you apologize? Why do you save someone like me? And I already mentioned in the regular episode discussion just the beauty of this scene and how it correlates to
Oh yeah.
parallels with Aaron and just a lot of the other characters in general. But if we were doubting a lot of the things about Reiner being just a fantastic character in Attack on Titan, this episode is just just
I love it.
kicks any
I love
of
it
those
so
doubts
much. Yep.
right down, like the Shiganshina Gate. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So blazing through the next little bit here, we then basically get now they're all recovering.
Yep.
They're now basically amongst those that are survivors, quote unquote. Because who survives something like that? And this moment here, I really think that this was one of the last Reiner moments.
Sure. Well, and oh man.
And yet I don't really actually know the exact interpretation of this because there's a couple that make sense. But I want to know your thoughts on the interpretation of this, Jacob. Because she had just said to Reiner before this, why don't you just take all the responsibility, take all the blame, and just die.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I think this was it. This was him saying, I'm going to put my arms around you. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be your brother. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to take all the responsibility for this and apologize and say, I forced you guys into this. I pushed us into this. Now there's no going back, and I am so sorry. I know we're all feeling the same thing right now. We're murderers. We are the worst of the worst. But we're going to make it through this. And it's basically the bonds of desperation for survival, I guess.
Yeah. And I love in this scene.
Yeah.
Okay. With the three characters, Reiner is, it's very clear that he's genuine when he says, I'm sorry, right? Mm-hmm. Now, is this the Marcel? Is this Reiner? Who knows? But Marcel did come from Reiner, this version of Marcel that he's putting out. So, that does potentially speak to the reservoirs that Reiner didn't realize he had within himself. But Bertolt is kind of accepting of it, right? He's empathetic and he's sharing in the sadness and in the sorrow, right? Mm-hmm. And just look at Annie, dead inside, absolutely dead inside. I
think they're all kind of dead inside. It's just that, if anything, I think she's probably the most actively thinking right now, with her eyes being open.
Right. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
But with something like that, it's oh yeah, no wonder Annie hated Reiner's guts. No wonder she couldn't stand him during training and all that stuff.
Yeah. No, guys, I know that Eren, Mikasa, and Armin were right there, and I know that in season 1 they were there.
Annie is getting bread in the line where they're at and everything, so it makes sense that they'd be in that building. And
I'm not trying to be dismissive of it. We've already discussed that in plenty of other things, and it's a nice
there you go, but
it's just keeping the audience aware of what part of the timeline we're in,
right? And emotional context, because they are actively seeing the suffering that they've caused,
right? And then Marcel, I'll be the warrior I should have been, which is the other reason why I think this was the last kind of true Reiner bit, because he's referring to Marcel directly.
Yeah, and with the sort of kind of multiple personality kind of thing that he ends up getting later, you could question, is he talking to Marcel, the dead person, or is he talking to Marcel, the other side of him?
True. Who's to say? It's a great question, though. Yeah. And then we see that, yes, 104.
Yes. Yeah. What the hell did you come here for? To save humanity. Oh my God.
Yeah. I'm the main character after all. Then we have a cool little moment that I don't think they needed to show in here.
Oh yeah.
But it's a brilliant little bit of just do you remember this?
Mm-hmm. Do you remember this? You remember their story?
Remember their story?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They got it from somewhere.
They got it from this guy.
Yeah. They didn't just come up with that level of detail out of nowhere. No. Because and I believe it was I believe it was Bertolt that told the story.
Bertolt told the story
Bertolt told the story
as
because
if he was the one in it.
well, and because he's constantly remembering this.
Right. But one of the things that's cool here is they basically reshot this thing here and put the guy in there instead of Bertolt.
Yep, because that's how it actually happened.
Right. But that is just such a cool attention to detail to be like, hey, remember their story that they told? Well, that was a lie, obviously. But not only was it a lie, it was a story that still happened, though, just not to Bertolt.
Yep, and I love the because okay,
God, it's just some cool continuity stuff.
well, and they see all the pain and suffering, right? But it would be very easy, I feel like, for that to get sort of homogenized, and
Yeah.
then for them to tune that out because they have to in order to stay sane about it. But then when they're talking to this individual, right, and they hear his detailed story of what happened with remembering, the cattle were restless and things like that. There
Yeah.
was the weird noises and stuff. I opened the window and there we go.
Yep.
But then also leaving behind 3 kids about the same age as you guys.
Yeah.
Not only did I cause so many people to die, but I terrified this guy so much, and I believe this guy's implying that he was their dad. Leaving behind 3 kids.
3 kids, yeah.
That he abandoned his own children to save himself.
Yep.
Because of what you did, Bert.
Mm.
And then, of course, he can't handle the guilt, so he
Yeah.
hangs himself.
Now, do you guys want to know how deep this could go?
Oh, yeah?
Sayama's writing here.
Okay.
I'm about to take you guys down a deep, dark rabbit hole.
All right.
I hope you're ready for this. This guy ends up getting substituted for Bertolt. Bertolt is one of 4.
Oh.
Now, Bertolt substitutes the story as if it's his, right?
Uh-huh.
Now, I'm not suggesting that they basically 3 basically of the kids being just, not Bertolt, meaning that he abandoned
Right, the
them
other
or something
3
like that.
warriors, yeah.
No. No. What it is that the 3 of them, all 3 of them basically abandoned who they were for the purpose of survival
Sure. Gotcha.
and left behind those 3 kids so that they could become murderers the same age as you guys. I think this story hit such a deep part of Bert's psyche here that it literally just hearing the story broke him. Realizing that, one, he caused this,
Yep.
but in a form of punishment, he takes it upon himself of like, I did that, I did that, I did that. Then the nightmare hits him over and over and over and over again. And that's why it was his nightmare. And the reason why the other 2 didn't take it in that way, 1, because Bert's the empath of the group.
Sure.
Reiner's already broken and split here. And Annie has cloistered herself off so that
Right.
she can actually survive. Like,
Right.
Annie's doing the best here of all 3 of them.
I'm going to not feel so that way I can
Yeah.
get through this. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also the fact that she didn't physically destroy the walls.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's that Bert thinks he abandoned Annie, Reiner, and Marcel. I think that's basically saying that he abandoned them, the 3 of them, basically. He by his actions, he being the one that kicked the wall, he being the one that didn't step in to stop Reiner and Annie doing things here.
Yep.
Where does he see himself to blame for this?
Right.
This is it. Yeah. And that's my thing, is that Bertolt is just as absolutely torn up inside about this. The only difference is that he doesn't really have a coping mechanism.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And that's why he kind of just shuts down.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly. So that's my deep dark rabbit hole.
Also, so then there's the Annie bit, which, shows that she's working on trying to find the king and all that stuff.
And she
Cool.
came pretty close.
She came pretty damn close. A bit too late,
Kenny was a friend of Umi's.
Yep.
Like, Kenny is
Or Uri.
Uri or Umi?
Oh, no, it might be Umi. I can't remember.
Chat.
I think it was Uri.
Who was the one before Frida?
I believe it was Uri.
Uri? That sounds right. So then, if that's the case,
She's a bit too
her
late.
investigating
Because
is a
Grisha
little bit
already did his thing. But
right. It's probably like a decade or so or whatever.
Yeah, I think 5 years.
5 years basically.
Or, I'm not
Uri.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's about 5 years or so too late.
Right.
But considering that she's one person She has very little to no information regarding the people and the doings here in general. And she got to Kenny?
Oh yeah, that's impressive. That's really damn impressive.
Like, it's pretty freaking badass, just if you think about it. And then that she got away from Kenny while on his turf.
Right.
So,
Uh-huh.
she's motivated.
But I don't know if you were told about this yet, but
Okay.
when we end up seeing the bit of Bertolt sleeping,
Yes.
that's basically the hangman's pose for the tarot card.
Yes, that was brought up to me.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, that was a very, very cool thing here. Yeah, and then...
That's a new one. Yeah.
Are his legs saying snow today? Nah, that's the clear skies position. But yeah, so guys... This has been passed along to us in a very cool way, in that Bertolt is in the Hanged Man tarot card position, sort of.
The legs aren't quite exactly the same, but
other it's close enough to where it works. But also, this is considering the fact that he's having nightmares throughout this, and it's based on a story of a guy that hanged himself. So, yeah. Or hung himself, but yeah. Anyway, that's yes. Let's make everything pretty.
And then Reiner's like, okay, let's not focus on this.
Yeah. While you two snoozed and after playing with your friends, I was busy crawling around the Capitol sewers. Yeah, I'm the only one actually doing something around here.
1, I got into the Capitol. 2, yeah.
Like, you guys ever thought about that?
Right, because this is before they do the second attack.
So
she's not in the military police.
No, she's not in the military police, but she also is probably doing this on foot. Because imagine if she transforms at night, right?
Oh yeah, that totally wouldn't work. Yeah,
no, it could work, but it'd be this thing of, holy crap, are you just going to run the risk that people think that there's an earthquake going on?
Or see footprints, later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But I also assumed that she was in the Capitol for a long time. Like, it wasn't like I was in there for 2 nights, It was like I was in there for like a few weeks or something to get plenty of time to actually do something out of it. Yes, thank you, Zaldrix, for the comparison image. Yeah, we've seen it as well, but thank you very, very much for passing that along. Yeah. I was busy crawling around the Capitol sewers. I've hit my limit if he's around, basically saying she can't go back because Kenny is now aware of her.
Right.
Which is kind of cool to be like, oh, Kenny's still doing his job.
Right. Very effectively.
Kenny is very effectively doing his job.
Yep.
Yeah. And he gives another shot of, hey, let's go back. We've got some good information.
But it's a half-hearted attempt, because at this point it's like they kind of are in too deep, right? Like at this point, yeah.
And then we see Reiner, basically the leader. Reiner, or Marcel, if you will. Let's destroy Wall Rose. The only way we can smoke out the Founding Titan. A lot of your friends are gonna die.
Because they're not mine.
I keep telling you, they're not my friends. They're devils. And by gaining their trust in her, and frankly, your aloof behavior isn't like, I'm gonna barf. Can you move your face away from mine?
Yeah. Like you're telling me what I should be doing here?
Right.
Really?
Liar.
Yeah.
Liar. Like I love that this just ties perfectly and efficiently back to her berating him in the bit where she was kicking the shit out of him about, you're all just liars. And he kind of relents and basically goes, yeah, you're tired. Sorry for laying the burden on you.
He handles it very well.
He handles it well, but he's also giving I can see you're exhausted right now, and it's clouding a bit of your judgment. But I also want to let you know that I'm sorry for laying the burden on you. This is coming from a person that she assumes, and is also accurate in that he is a really good liar. He's lying to himself because he's broken inside. But also, the parts where he could be actually being genuine a little bit, won't reach her in that regard.
Yeah, say what you will about Reiner, he's a method actor, and if he tells a lie, it's probably because he actually gets it to the point where he believes it, right? Where he's like, nope, this is the truth now.
Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. But yeah, we know Annie considers them as people. Yes, very much so. Very much so. We saw how her
Yeah.
and Armin's interactions were.
Well, and also with Mina. You know,
Yes,
the
with Mina.
the black-haired braided one. You know. Yeah.
Yep. And then Bertolt keeps
Brings it
having
up.
the same dream, brings it up. Why did he tell us that story right before he hung himself? Yeah. And then we kind of set up the, yes, Aaron is here.
Right.
By having there be a moment where Reiner specifically thinks back to a point where Aaron nearly gave up. But I love that the lines that they talk about have so much like contextual meaning that just it hurts to think about.
Oh yeah.
Aaron, take a break, you're gonna die.
How do we want to do this?
How do we want to analyze this, Jacob? There's so many things.
So many different ways to look at this. Like, because one, okay, there's the straightforward one, right? Aaron, take a break, you're gonna die, right? You're practicing too hard and all this stuff. We're using dangerous equipment. Rest easy, right?
Oh, sorry. Jello is saying, oh yeah, Caleb, the chapter that covers this first half of the episode is literally called Liar.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's the Aaron, take a break. One, that's rich coming from you, Reiner.
Right.
That is, wow.
But maybe he understands that even.
Well, and that's why he says it, because
Yeah.
he knows that he needs to. He's not going to, right?
Uh-huh.
You're gonna die.
Because I actually care about you. This part of me
I do
is
care about you.
actually convinced
Yeah.
that I care about you.
And if you were to do the kinds of things that I do, then you definitely die.
Mm-hmm.
You know. What does that say about myself?
Die too.
Well, yeah.
Reiner's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, like this is one of the
Yep.
things that is a present concern with Aaron. How's he doing right now, y'all? Like, how do you really feel like Aaron's doing right now?
Well,
He looks like shit right now.
Yeah.
And yet he's talking from this place of like enlightenment.
Oh,
Like he's-
Aaron or Reiner?
Aaron when he's talking with Falco.
Oh,
In the present.
Oh,
In the
yes.
present. Aaron, like,
Uh-huh.
I both feel like Aaron went through like an enlightenment period and a death period. Like, Aaron basically died so that he might attain basically like the will to do what must be done. And it's just terrifying to think about that Aaron is there and no one knows that it's him there. And literally Armin could be like next door doing his own infiltration thing. And it's just, oh
Yeah.
my God. But then, yeah, this is in this scene here. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And Aaron asks the question, yeah, how do you do it? Well, not that well, I'll tell you that.
But I do it.
But he does it.
And I've been doing it for a long time now.
You could say that, if he does it for another, 4 years or so, he might
You'll
even
get the hang of it.
He might even get
Oh
the hang
my
of it.
God.
I'm trying not to laugh right now because that's so funny. Oh my God. Jesus. Oh my God. Actually, no meme. Actually, just talk about this rather seriously.
Uh-huh.
People that probably are not experiencing the exact same thing that Reiner's going through,
Yes.
but are suffering in silence.
Yes.
Like,
right.
actually just suffering in silence.
It might not be I need to commit genocide because, for the safety of my family and all of that stuff and because I'm in too deep. But yeah.
But like it actually might be a thing where, they're just counting the days, guys. Like,
Sure.
like, let's be real. That's just
One more day. Yeah. And what's crazy though is that if you think about it, Reiner in this situation, he's actually doing pretty well. Now, it's something where the way that he ended up needing to cope is one that we would have hoped that he wouldn't have had to, right? And we would hope he wouldn't be in this situation and feel like he has to do all these things and everything. But in this situation, I feel like this is part of what's helping Reiner maybe heal. Because they're not, like, yes, they end up, not long after this doing the whole thing of going after Walrose, right? But the time that Reiner's spending here, again, he's a method actor, right? He is becoming friends with them. He is getting to that point where he's sort of kind of healing. Now, he's healing into a different person, a different entity, right? And hence the split in his mind. But if Reiner was able to have more stuff like this, maybe that would end up helping him get to a place where he'd be okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the other side comes knocking, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Just do
what you gotta do. He says he cuts to him loading the rifle. Oh my
Yeah.
God. That's all we can do. Yeah, you're right. And as he's helping up Aaron, he's putting the rifle in his mouth.
Are you going to drive it out into Last Titan? I know you can do it.
I believe in you.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I don't even really want to show the bit again. It's actually just kind of hard for me to look at. But I think I could show this and...
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And isn't it just something to think about that it was an accident?
Oh, right.
That
Yeah.
Falco basically punched the stone wall.
Yep, and shouted out like that. Yeah. If not for that,
Yeah.
Reiner would be gone right now.
If out of that, it would have been a different sound, kind of echoing throughout the
Yep.
the area.
Boom. Mm-hmm. And
It even took a second for me to realize like what had fully happened.
Oh, right, because they timed the sound of the fist on the wall so well with when you think he's going to pull the trigger that you're like, wait, hold on, wait, what?
Yeah.
And then, and like, I know this is a dark thing to think about, but this is a dark scene. Let's imagine for a second that Falco had been 2 seconds later, and he's going up already in this place where he's low, and he's like, what can I possibly do? Right? And then in the midst of all this, gunshot. And a little bit of blood goes flying out the window.
Oh.
And he goes in there and sees Reiner. A person that's kind of like a dad to him. Brains painting the wall.
Yeah, Reiner fully loaded the rifle's clip. Yeah. The timing of this suicide is telling. Reiner would rather die than go back to the island. He truly lost the will to fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I can't let this go on. Snaps Reiner out of it. It's literally the voice of one of the people that he has to live for. That's right, I still have those guys. And this is something that will remind me eternally of one of my favorite character development moments in all of television. Zuko and Iroh.
I knew you were gonna bring that up. I was going to.
So guys, it's time to bring up one of my favorite shows, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yep.
And let's talk about our banished Prince Zuko. Zuko is a character that's given a task that's impossible. Not by his mother in this case, but in some ways because of abandonment, in the same way that Reiner was abandoned. You're gonna start to see some pretty cool parallels here. Both these boys believe they're chosen ones, that they have a glorious purpose to enact here that involves some pretty dark things for a kid. Sent out to go do something that's impossible, that's actually impossible.
To say nothing of the morality.
Oh, yeah, totally. Totally. Of course. Then basically coming to that point where once they basically have done the closest thing they can to it, they failed. They did something that's worthwhile, so they're still alive, but now they have to live with themselves.
Yep.
And the moment in the Avatar and the Fire Lord episode in Book 3 of Avatar: The Last Airbender, where Zuko is kneeling in front of Iroh, who is in a jail cell, but the way it's framed with the light basically makes it look like that person, Zuko in this case, is the one in the jail cell, while Iroh is the one speaking to outside of it here. And this is just a regular room that he's in here. And yet it looks like a freaking jail cell that he's trapped in here in. And he finds basically, by looking through the other side, a reason to live. And yeah, there we go.
And what I love about also the differences between those two scenes, when now that we're comparing them, in the case of Zuko, it was something where his uncle was the one that he was talking to. It was his uncle that was speaking to him and saving him and helping him in this situation.
So lucky.
So lucky.
Yep.
Uncle Iroh, I feel like, is Zuko's connection to his past.
Sure.
The positive side of his past, for sure, but his
Okay.
past, right?
Yeah.
And Zuko's journey of growing up is figuring out how to do things on his own. And as much as it breaks my heart seeing the moments where he pushes Iroh away,
Yep.
that is still something that he kind of needed to do in order to fully make the decisions on his own.
Right.
For them to truly be his decisions. In Reiner's case here, his problem isn't the past, it's the future. It's the present and all of that stuff, right?
He needs hope.
He has reached despair. He needs hope, right? So I wasn't actually going to mention the Iroh and Zuko prison scene.
Oh.
The one that I was going to mention is the line where Iroh says the Avatar gives Zuko hope.
Yes.
Right? Because what happened right here, there is the part of it where yes, Reiner would feel even more guilt if Falco were to see this, right? If he were to hear it, it were to happen in front of him. But he was already decided that he was going to kill himself. So either he wasn't thinking about that, or he had determined that, well, in the long run, I can't wait the 2 years or whatever that I have left, right? But then he hears Falco. He hears Falco struggling,
Yep.
right? With a very similar predicament to what he has. Different for sure, because the details are different, but on that same kind of path. But he's still struggling.
Yeah.
And then, damn it, he looks out. He sees the light. That even inside this cage that he's in, of his own, of his own making, and the making of the society that he's in and whatnot. Maybe he can still cut out some freedom for himself.
Yep. Yep.
Maybe there is hope.
And yep, someone in chat said it. The Door of Hope. That's the name of the episode. So yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, this is such a good season so far. Oh my god. And the way he basically clutches at the window as well.
Right, like he's struggling to like he would climb through it if he could.
Look at this. Look at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just had to show you that. That's just so powerful. Yeah. Okay. And we see his resolve, his perseverance.
And
the
so
thing that, yes, those freaking Marlians basically noticed, which was actually true.
Yeah. And that
even though that might have been the thing that, Marcel used to basically talk him up.
Can you actually go back to that image where it shows Reiner's determined face?
Oh.
Because now the screenshot won't necessarily get this, but
okay,
when you're playing through it, the center of Reiner's eyes are actually trembling there. Now, there are a few reasons why I love this. One, trembling means that there's
intention?
Intention
focus?
and energy, yes, but it also means that he's still human and there are vulnerabilities there. It's not perfect, right? It is something that he is putting on. He is donning for himself, right? But also, this look is exactly the kind of look that we would have expected and we have seen previously when he goes into the warrior mode.
Ah.
And this is where I feel like we get to see the manifestation of that hope, not just on the outside of Reiner, but on the inside of Reiner.
Okay.
Because this here is him taking all of this shit that that has been done to him and that he has been put through and everything, and he is turning it into something that he can use for himself. A line from Game of Thrones comes to mind. Take their insults and wear it like armor, right? And then it can't hurt you. He's doing that here. And in a healthier way. It's not just to cope and to not deal with things and to somehow survive, but it's actually with a positive purpose, right?
Yeah. Good stuff. Nice little.
Reiner, you may think that you're just doing this because that's what Marcel would do, but you're still doing it. You're doing it here and now, not because you're being Marcel, but because you're being you. So maybe you can do some good before you go after all, even if you only have a couple of years left.
Yeah. Okay.
And then this conversation.
We have which, by the way, I more and more I see Aaron like this, and I've just looked intently at his face and stuff.
Yep.
I have two weird insights that I got from this. So Aaron feels at peace in an
Yeah.
unnatural way.
Sure.
So
Okay.
remember
Go into that.
Remember how Aaron in the past was basically going on this angry burnout?
Right, and you knew it wasn't sustainable.
Yeah, he was spiraling out of control with
Yep.
his anger basically not being something that could be drawn upon forever.
Right.
And it literally killed Yuki Kaji's voice, basically. Like,
Yep. Yeah, we got it at the end of season 2 and at the end of season 3, part 1. Yeah.
Yeah. And jokes aside, one of the things that I have found in my personal life experience, because I don't have a direct kind of comparison to make here, but I've seen what I would call the cult air about people. You know, when you meet a person that's charismatic and at peace in a way that just feels off. I call that the cult air, the aura
Okay.
of a cult leader,
Sure.
basically. But then his actual design is one that makes you feel safe around him. That he's not a threat. That he's like got the
Okay.
long hair and he's broken and he's wounded and stuff. And yet, since I know who he is, I'm like, oh my god, this is our main character here. And war could literally be like about to start. Oh, yeah, sorry. C-U-L-T, not C-O-L-T.
No, yeah.
Sorry.
Right.
Cult.
Yes.
Yeah, that is actually weird how that's pronounced. Cult?
Cult,
Cult.
not cult.
Yeah, it is really close though. Wow. So, the fact that he's kind of, it just feels weird the more I look into this conversation because he calls the kid over.
Right, it's why is this conversation happening kind of a
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, exactly. If
But
you're
he's-
here, Aaron, to be like an infiltrator, to kind of spy out things and stuff like that, great. You can use this kid as being an insight into a lot of the things with the wits, you know? The warriors in training. I'm just going to keep using wits, and hopefully you guys can keep track with that. Or just answer it to people if ever people ask, what does he mean when he says wits? I just like using it. It's funny. But this is a scene that as I'm watching it more and more, it starts to unsettle me a little bit. It starts to unsettle me a little bit.
Yeah.
And then this line here, which is almost feels like a bad joke.
Well, yeah,
I'm here for emotional trauma, but it's a lie. I'm like, Aaron, are you just being like straight up with this kid now? Like you do have emotional trauma. Like
Well,
that's just a thing.
you know what's something that's funny?
Oh,
is
no.
that so in
Oh,
episode
no.
2, when Falco meets Aaron, but he doesn't realize, well, he still doesn't realize it's Aaron, right? But it's not obvious to the audience necessarily that it's Aaron. What he says to him is, it's okay, you don't have to fight anymore.
Oh, you're right. Oh, you're right. Oh, you're right. Oh.
Let's go from one traumatized, person to another and see how they're handling it. Like,
Yeah, but then there's the fact that like what he's also putting up potentially is also just a lie. It's the kind of thing of where the best lies are the ones that are just the truth under like slightly different interpretations.
yeah.
I said I lost my memory and can't go home, but I just don't want to. So he explains what the lie is, and
And can you imagine with like if Aaron is planning some kind of attack here, right? He hasn't like seen that, oh, these are people too, and we should do something different, right? How he would think about his own mother, right? Because that was such a big motivation for him. But now it's like, what would I say to her?
Yeah. So then he gets Falco here to talk. He's like, you're hurt. He's from your warrior training. He's like, no, another candidate's so talented, I don't even stand a chance. And he's like, oh, that's good to hear. He just casually drops that. And then Falco kind of like a second too late.
He's like,
kind
wait.
of goes, wait, huh?
I implied stuff like that before, and
I got berated for that.
I got threatened with, like my whole family will be turned into Titans, you know?
And this is something that kind of was one of the big moments that made this conversation feel eerie to me.
Oh, yeah?
This is a judgment. You're a good guy.
Yes, yeah. I'm weighing you, I'm measuring you, and I see that you're a good person.
I have found that you are one that I hope to live long.
Oh, but the implication that if I didn't have that same measurement about them, I wouldn't want the people to live a long life.
Who says this though? Like, there's the thing of when you put two statements next to each other. When you put two statements next to each other, it means that the line of thought was a trail.
Yeah, this is a great thing to remember. Yeah, that it is a little bit different of an experience here for us versus manga readers, because manga readers, you don't have Yukikaji. So it's like it could potentially be Eren, but nah. You know, like it doesn't have to be.
That's a
thing,
good
right?
question.
It's not. It's not like as soon as he starts talking, it's like, what?
Right.
What's going on?
Right. Do you think that in general the manga community found out before then, like before this, like that?
I can't remember, but it was like, yeah. I don't want to go into too much detail of like trying to process out when exactly it was that it was discovered that it's Eren, you know?
Okay.
But yeah.
Gotcha. All right. I hope you live a long life.
And with the whole warrior thing, it's like, oh, it totally makes sense. Yeah, that way you don't have that 13-year time limit.
Right. And I think that is a way in which it works. But it's just the fact that there's a double layer potentially to all this stuff that makes it actually really chilling. Because one, Eren is in a position of power here. Regardless of the fact that he's like lost potentially an eye and a leg, he could turn into a Titan right now, and who would stop him? Like, it would have to be like a mentally not prepared Reiner.
Oh God!
Well, actually,
can you imagine?
Reiner might be motivated. Actually,
well sure, but
then it
can
would
you
have
imagine?
To be like Zeke, basically.
Well, yeah. Eren's beaten Reiner before.
Yeah.
2, Reiner just had a rifle in his mouth. You know, if all of a sudden lightning flashes and Eren's there in his Titan form, I mean, yeah, he's going to be motivated, especially if Falco's there. He'd want to save Falco if the transformation didn't immediately kill him. But like,
yeah. But then I don't want them to be a warrior. Why not? Now, again, this is something to where I got a little bit of cult vibes here.
Oh, really?
This is a question that has an obvious answer in that Eren wants this kid to live a long life. But I want to hear you say it, kid. Like, I know multiple reasons as to why it could be. He could do the conversation thing where he guesses as to why he doesn't want them to be a warrior, right?
Well, and he does that.
He does eventually, yes.
Yeah, I think like right after. Like, you know, Falco,
oh, you're right. He
Falco
then says,
like hesitates. He doesn't answer immediately.
Oh, yeah,
he's like,
the other candidate a girl?
And I gotta say.
That is actually kind of funny now that I
Eren
think about
has
it.
gone through a character growth arc.
Wait,
here.
what?
Because
hold on, let me bring back the bit here because this
with his comment of is the other candidate a girl? Let me just take you back to I think season 3 part 1 or season 3 part 2 maybe. We've got Marlowe and Hitch and that whole situation, right? And Marlowe's talking with the rest of the 104th about how Hitch doesn't want him to go on the mission. And they're all like, "Oh my God, you're so dense, you're not cluing in, right?" And then Eren's like, "What? What is he talking about? It's you know, I'd be confused too, you know."
Oh my God!
Yeah.
I completely forgot about that. Oh my God!
That Eren, 4 years later, now.
So you're saying that this Eren fucks?
If I wish, if only, you know, maybe then Mikasa would actually have a chance, you know. But
oof.
But
all right, that's funny though.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
I think I just kind of took that as a little bit of a, hey kid, like I'm trying to relate to you a little bit. But then I didn't even think about that. She's famous around here. She did incredible things in the war.
Yep.
And everyone's saying she should be the next Armor. Since I'm powerless, I can't do a damn thing about it.
And I love that it shows Eren there because it's like, oh man, that hasn't been the story of his life at all.
Right. But also the idea that he's like, oh,
I see.
The next Armor. Oh. So Reiner's still out there.
Reiner's still out there, but apparently he's almost on the outs, you know?
And then let's get into just the monologue.
This line.
This is so
Oh my
good.
God.
This is so good because I feel like this was the point where he kind of shifted away from the manipulative side of things at all, or maybe even if you want to look at it in a positive way, that he was kind of being a helpful, just kind of brother to him in that regard, because they are kind of brothers in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, every day I'm here, I think, why did it ever come to this?
Yeah.
I shouldn't look at chat.
No.
Okay, cool. I will wait.
Yep. Good.
Okay. Why did it ever come to this?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Aaron. Human nature, cycle of violence and hatred, and
Who knows?
who knows, really, right? I think that's one of the kind of wonderfully, like, sad things about this. We have all this history we got recently,
Mhm. Yep.
but really, like, who even really knows about whether or not that's fully accurate?
Sure.
So, this whole thing of just, right here,
Right now we're in a shit situation.
but
How did we get here?
how did we get here? Why did it come to this?
Oh man.
Ugh.
Oh man.
Yeah, you're asking questions that don't have easy answers, man.
Nope.
It's never so straightforward. Damaged minds and bodies, their freedom taken away, even losing themselves. People knew it would come to this, nobody would go to war. But most people are pushed by something, forced to march into hell. So, here we go. The connection firmly established between what they showed us with Reiner
Mm-hmm.
and now Aaron talking about this here, basically showing that it was also Reiner's actions that led to him being pushed into this position here. It's just kind of amazing. It's wonderfully well written, and we can basically take a causal link through the present moments of time and go through characters like Reiner, for instance, and just boom, 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 go back and
Yep.
tie groundbreaking events back to casual words spoken between a mother and a son.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Like, isn't that just like, oh, that's heavy.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's right. I believe this was in the first episode when they were all talking before Zeke proposed the whole thing of we retake the founding Titan.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe it was mentioned in the anime that it's we need fossil fuel. So let's go after let's go to Paradise. Like,
I think they did say that there's precious resources.
right at the very least.
But
yeah.
did they say that it was fossil fuels?
I'm not sure. But there was a mention of
There's a mention at the end of season 3 too.
There
was a mention at the end of season 3 too. Pretty sure.
Maybe I can't remember, but
yeah, it was mentioned in season 3, part 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
It's funny because you guys are, maybe this is just a weird thing there, but my obsession with Attack on Titan is just an actual obsession. I've rewatched the previous seasons of Attack on Titan more times than I can count.
Wow.
And it's gotten to the point where like there's just like this weird like data set in my head where I'm like yes, that goes in there and that other thing there. I should do a damn trivia thing.
I can't say what I think about the Aaron's monologue. I can't say that.
That something wasn't their choice. Their situation or others made them do it. But people who push their own backs see a different kind of hell. And
which
they
is what
zoom in.
Reiner was doing.
Yes.
Like,
but there's
this
the
whole time.
transition. There's the transition, though. Originally, he was pushed by his environment.
Yes. But
Then
it gets to the point where he
Reiner
pushes
dies,
his own back. Yeah.
and he pushes his own back. He basically used the dead corpse of his own, past life to push him forward in this new reincarnation there. And it's just, ugh.
Yeah.
It's not an addiction. I can stop whenever I want.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, they mentioned season 3, part 2 that there will be a time when they would have to go to Paradise Island to get the resources from the island. Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's true.
Yep.
Kill, don't say that word. Instead, refer to it as dedication. Ah, yes. I'm dedicated. Right, exactly. Yeah. But Jacob, I do actually want to know your thoughts on this regarding the episode at the very least.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
So, Okay.
Because obviously you know what's gonna happen, but like,
Yeah, my opinions about Eren as a character are something that have changed a lot over the course of the anime, right?
Oh,
I'm not
okay,
going to say
cool.
anything,
Let's get into
manga
that.
wise or whatever, but
Yeah.
when there was just the first season for Attack on Titan, I remember really loving all the stuff that happened at the beginning with Eren, where it's the let's see the sea and all of that stuff, and Armin talking to him when he was in his Titan form and things like that, right? But then in like the second half of the season, I didn't really like Eren as much because he was sort of just a rage monster, right? And it's like, okay, it makes sense that he's like that, but that's not as interesting to me, right? I want to see more of that wonder and everything from before. Then when season 2 and everything comes around, and before season 2, but when I broke down and read the manga and I went through the stuff that is season 2, then I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is the good stuff, right? Let's get this. Let's see how the anger is in response. Like it almost feels like it's the stages of grief, right? For Eren's own innocence and childhood and all of that stuff, right?
Yeah, his own dark coming of age story.
Exactly, right? And all of a sudden he has to come to terms with the fact that the world is cruel, right? And while I saw only the beauty before, now I'm seeing everything else. And that can make me generally just, tired and want to give up and things like that, like when Hannes gets eaten, and again, and when he's about to get eaten by Historia, right? Yeah. And so the fact that we get to see that, I love it because it gives additional context to the rage machine that he was in the second half of season 1, because that didn't last, it couldn't last. And then when we see things like this here,
it's almost like the betrayals and the lies started to build up, and that rage just turned to anguish at just the cruel nature of it all.
Right, whether it's lies and betrayals or just generally just seeing all the awful stuff that happens, right? It's something where he needs to figure out how he's going to go on, right? Because his journey here is very similar to Reiner's, right? Different circumstances for sure. But the question, when it comes right down to it, it's the question of, that would be posed to any of us if we were put into this Attack on Titan world is, how would you do it? How would you go on, right? How would you handle it? Because the easy answer, that is what a lot of the characters have taken, is that you don't, right? You shut your eyes real tight, cover your ears, and just drown out the noise, right? Focus on literally anything else.
You try to go somewhere else.
Or you try and go somewhere else.
Try to be like Jean,
Right. But if you have the audacity to hope that maybe you can actually do some good in the world, how do you do that? How do you do that? How do you make it so that actually works, right? Because it seems like it wouldn't, And Eren's seen all the times that it doesn't work, and he tries, but he fails. So now that he's gotten to this point where he has sustained injuries, right? He's lost a leg. How does he still walk?
Yeah.
He's lost an eye. How does he see the world, without being jaded, right? That kind of struggle. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Right? Because that's what gives meaning to the fact that he once was staring wide-eyed, with Armin at a book, dreaming of the sea, right? So
there's a cool little comment there from Mordred.
Yeah. Oh, as many people have said before, that what hooked me to Attack on Titan was realizing it was a seinen world with a shonen MC. Yes, well said. This speech made me think Eren finally became a seinen MC, and the road ahead is just a complete unknown. Right, and then if that's the case, is this actually him permanently changing to a seinen MC, or is this actually just the night is darkest before the dawn kind of a thing, and there will come that point where he remembers,
Yeah, I want to believe in Eren. I do.
Right.
I do.
Me too.
Because Armin's gonna be like, Armin's gonna be with him.
Right.
Remember, guys, my favorite character is Armin because he holds on to Eren's heart.
Exactly.
Broken, beaten, torn apart it is, but he's holding on to it.
And like you, in what you mentioned before of how Armin would end up being the best choice for humanity as a whole over Erwin, regardless of the scouts, but just as far as Eren goes, since Eren is, he is the main character.
He's
everything kind of does revolve around him. He's the key and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, you need those people
Eren,
to be around Eren.
You are the key.
Yep.
Nani? Eren looks down into the key, sees his reflection.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. But all right. That's the hell that Eren experienced. But then the door of hope. but they can see something beyond the hell.
Mm-hmm.
It might be hope. It may even be another hell. And this is
Right.
where I want to basically believe in Aaron.
Because this is the question:
This
is
is
it
the
hope or is
question.
it another hell? Yeah.
Yeah. You don't know.
Yep.
And in some ways, that's kind of the point of what will probably be, if anything, the reason why
Don't
they
look at
put...
chat for a
okay,
second.
okay. It'll probably be the reason as to why they put so much focus on the Marleyans in this case there, is that they will have an active role in the overall like ending of the story of deciding whether it's going to be a hope or another hell. Because after thinking about this episode even more, one of the things that I just kind of realized like has to happen here is that Reiner is literally like only alive because of fate.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And if this show wants to get metaphysical,
Oh.
which it will,
Attack on Titan definitely doesn't do that.
yeah, Reiner has to live and survive for Eren. Dude,
Oh man. Oh
Think about it.
man. That is
think about it.
Yeah, okay. No, but yeah.
Think about
yeah,
it.
Yeah, because if Armin is the voice of hope, Reiner is the reminder, right? It's
Yeah.
the what you can be turned into, what can happen when
Yep.
you don't listen
Yep.
to that voice of hope. Yeah. Okay.
And guys, I'm about to explain a little bit as to why I think this is the case, because I have always had the crackpottest of theories. But we all know that time muckery is a thing now in Attack on Titan, right? Spoiler alert! If you haven't been paying attention, there's this thing that allows experiences and thoughts and stuff to travel through time and space.
So before you get into that, I just have to this
What
comment is, oh my god, it's such shit. I love it.
What?
But it's from Mordred. Mikasa be like, okay, Eren, you are the key. I am the basement. Do you get how this works now?
No, Mordred! Jeez, no! Oh. So, okay.
But yeah, back to time travel paths and all that.
So,
Good stuff.
Reiner was kind of instrumental in basically making sure that, like because of the actions he did, things went a specific way. And if I go along the logic of the theory that this is basically something that Eren has potentially done many times, and this is something that just keeps repeating over and over and over again until he gets it right, basically. And then this is something where, it's what is it, 2,000 years in the future, the past, or something like that. Yeah.
2,000 years in the future.
Yeah. You can keep trying. You can keep trying over and over again. You're gonna wake up crying and just,
Right.
will this work? Will this work? And then there's people that, because they did things a specific way, because certain things basically went this exact way, it led to very, very key circumstances with regards to Eren's life and direction that it went. So,
Oh man.
I think Reiner not only has to survive because he's going to be instrumental in Eren's characterization moving forward towards the finale, but it's going to be important as to what kind of decisions people know they have to make if he has to do this again. And that's
Right.
how they end the show.
Like, because it's whenever you deal with time travel, right? It's specifically time loops, shall we say, rather than time travel, right? Whenever you deal with time loops, there is, if it goes on long enough, there is this question of how do you continue, right? Because
This
people
cannot
aren't
continue.
right, because people aren't robots, right? And if how do you deal with just the repeating of everything? You can't necessarily just execute on things the same way that you did before, but make that slight alteration, right? There will come a point where you get to the end of yourself.
Yep.
And I feel like one of the best things that can come from that is it's that parallel to even our daily lives potentially, right?
Oh,
Because
okay.
in a lot of ways, you could look at the way we live our lives, and in a lot of cases, they could seem fairly similar to a time loop. There's even that classic line from Groundhog's Day of the, what if every day was the same and nothing you did mattered? Well, about sums it up for me, right? How do you make it so that you don't get jaded? You know, like it seems like Eren is becoming, especially if it's something where the memories of the past iterations, you know, are potentially being transferred to you, albeit with a, you know, a bit of a filter. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I think they were talking hentai.
No, I saw someone mention that Jake Retake's in here. I just wanted to say hi. Hey,
Hello.
Jake.
Glad you could make it.
Good to see you in here. For some reason, I can't see you in chat, but people are shouting out that you're here. But hey, welcome, dude.
Yeah.
Good to see you. Or good to know you're here. I just it's a good time to be an Attack on Titan fan. Am I right, dude? Am I right, dude? Like, oh my god, this is so good. Yeah, that was awesome. But okay, yeah. Chat. What? I saw horny stuff and numbers.
They're talking about hentai and things. Yeah.
God damn it, you guys are ridiculous.
But
That's basically the end of the episode. But then, well, the only way to find out is keep moving forward. Only those who keep moving forward will ever know. Yeah.
he learned Reiner's lesson.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
yet,
boy.
just look at that face.
Yep.
That's Eren, but that's the
determined Eren.
That's the determined Eren that is like
Mhm.
cold. We've seen hot determined Eren.
Yes. No.
This is-
Okay. What are you talking about? Look at Eren right there. That's hot.
That you are sexually aroused at this moment right now. You're like, I'm just saying.
Hold on now. I mean, if Eren has gotten this kind of an upgrade visually in 4 years, I mean, just imagine Mikasa. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Yeah. Just here comes the smolder. You know.
They won't have enough. They won't have enough 3D for all the abs that are going to be shown.
Oh my god, you guys are hilarious. Yeah. Jake is absolutely a fellow patriot. I bet my whole dinner on that fact. Yeah. Oh no, he's hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chad Aaron. Yeah.
Abkasa.
Abkasa. Oh god, that just feels like cringe. But that's just a way to end an episode too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Ooh,
So-
Zaldrix's comment.
What? Which one?
There might have been one further up.
Okay, hold on. Missing it here. Got an uptime thing. That's not it. Oh, here we go. Isayama has a bunch of his favorite manga panels he's made hung in his workspace for inspiration. One of them is Reiner's suicide panel, The Absolute Mad Lad.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow, I don't doubt it. Like that.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't know how Mikasa would handle herself if she was seeing Eren right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely Mordred with the idea of it being, another hell or something else. Who knows? Freaking masterful writing. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh.
Saddlebags, Jesus.
Yeah.
Calm down. Oh my god. No, I did not watch the Attack on Titan trailer, and I am very, very happy that I did not.
I specifically
because Jacob
made-
said that there
there
were
are
spoilers
things-
abounding
Well,
in it.
no. So there are things that it changes your experience when you have certain things that are basically to build up something. For instance, this is why I don't let Caleb see the next episode stuff. But for the trailer, this is another reason. Eren, in his current form, was shown in the trailer, which makes it, and it's, so if you see that, it's like, oh, okay, all right, then you see him in the show. This is obviously Eren, right? And then you lose out on just some of those good bits, so.
I don't know if we're getting a second part for season 4, Neeby. There is evidence to support that there won't be a second part. However, it would be very, very reasonable to presume a little bit that there is going to be more. It's just a question of how long will we have to wait until it's a part 2. Because while this is the final season, as a bunch of people have made mention to me, it doesn't have to be the final, like it doesn't have to go all the way to the end of wherever the manga is.
Yes, there are some debates among manga readers in the manga channel of how exactly it's going to be handled because of the fact that this is the final season. Yeah. The trailer literally had the scene with Reiner trying to kill himself. Really?
Wait, so you didn't even see it?
No, I just took people's word for it and was like, I know what's coming. I don't think I have to.
You don't need to see it. Wait, so that's amazing. So Jacob has such a good faith trust relationship with the manga community on Discord that you're like, nope, I don't even need to see it. Nope.
Well,
no,
also,
I'm good.
It is one of those things where I do like to experience the anime for the first time with the episode, because even if I've seen the content before in the manga, seeing
Jacob,
it
what the hell, man?
animated
Jacob
with
saw
music
the
and everything.
trailer. Jacob fail. Ha,
Oh no, that's right. I always forget that I've seen the trailer. No, see, I keep wiping it from my mind to be like, all right, because new experience.
When did you see the trailer?
I literally watched it on stream, not in this last manga reading, but in the last one, and yeah, it was so spoilery.
I'm sorry.
No, see, I'm just using I made this mistake even in the manga reading stream of the last one that I did. I'm just using the Founding Titans powers to just wipe my memory.
Ah.
Yeah.
Galaxy brain maneuver.
Yep.
I see. What I love about this is that this is the beauty of chat delay, is that for 12 seconds,
Yeah, I saw it
I
twice.
believed everything that you said. And then 12 seconds later, Jacob, bro, what the with Jacob, and it was just like
Yep. Yeah, I'm channeling Reiner. Yeah, I mean, hey, well, you know. Yeah.
That's
But yeah,
amazing.
the amount of stuff that now that people mention it, I'm like, yes, that's right. And the amount of stuff that was in there, it's
thankfully the
no.
ED and the OP are like insanely spoiler free.
Yes, I really appreciate that. I love what they did,
thank you,
especially with the ED, with the visual choice that they basically took of like, hey, this is where we could put a lot of spoilery stuff in here if we wanted to, but we're not going to do that.
Nope. Voices Zoro for a reason.
That's right.
The
Damn
Zoro
it.
jokes will never die.
Nope.
I love it too
Just
because
like Zoro,
Jacob, they'll always mention to me, like, anytime I slightly show my incompetence in this area, they'll be like, I see you've been spending too much time around Jacob. Yes, I see it's contagious. The Zoro is contagious. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You guys are ruthless. Ugh. The trailer was clearly made ahead of the manga. There was stuff in the trailer that literally had just come out. Oh, okay.
Look away real quick.
Oh, okay. La 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 la
No. Stop. Chat's moving so fast I can't. No.
You can scroll up.
No.
And it will
Yes,
stop
and then
moving.
it will stop. Yes,
Yeah,
that is true. That is true. Okay.
That's amazing.
Delete.
All right,
Okay.
calm down, light. Yeah.
No. I think that was Mellow. I don't know. I can't remember.
No, it was
The one
light.
who specifically says delete.
Oh. Yeah.
Or was that the businessman? I forget.
I don't remember.
Anyways.
Or it was a meme thing. I don't remember actually. Good question. Bless Mappa and their slow bird-related visuals. Oh man.
Yeah, gooey. Twitch chat. Jacob, how can you forget all the time? I want to be able to do that. Jacob, I forgot how. Yeah. The crazy thing is that this is so dumb to say, but if I don't forget, then my memory is like perfect, right?
Oh, it was the last fake Kira Mikami. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
Oh.
It seems too kind of crazed to be Kira.
Right. Yeah. The business
Light,
dude.
yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yes, exactly. But okay, guys. That was a hell of a stream, and
It was indeed.
Probably one of the best episodes in Attack on Titan. Like, I would say that it is not in like my top 5 episodes.
Oh, uh-huh.
But it is one of the best episodes of Attack on Titan.
The fact that you have to say, well, it wasn't one of my top 5.
Right.
Like, how many episodes does Attack on Titan have right now? Like
60,
60
63,
plus?
62.
Yeah. Right. I think
I
this
know
is,
this shit.
62.
I'm the
62 or 63. Yeah. So
computing.
so,
Kowalski analysis.
That's
62 episodes.
pretty
yeah.
good, all things considered.
Yeah.
You know? It's not in the top 12th of all episodes, from the show.
Right. But it was just one of the best for
Oh,
sure.
I'm pretty sure Hero is in his top 5.
Ooh, that would be like the best like YouTube viral thing to do like the definitive Attack on Titan episode tier list.
Oh
like,
my god.
Just I'm
my
sorry
God.
guys. I'm in a goofy mood right now, but that would just be like
That
ooh,
would be nutty.
YouTube clickbait genius. And then people at the end wouldn't actually dislike the tier list like most tier lists. They'd be like, I was coming in here to dislike it, and then I kept watching the video after I disliked it, and I was like, damn,
No.
these guys are actually pretty good. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it makes some
actually
good points.
agree with what
Yeah,
they're saying.
But there would still be the people that are like, no, you're forgetting this episode.
But yeah, it was a good time. It was
Yep.
a good time. So guys, we'll be getting things basically set up for...
Look away real quick.
Oh, okay.
But,
Yeah.
okay.
All right, see you, Jake. Have a good
see
one,
ya.
man.
Take care.
Yep. Exploit the system. Oh my god.
I mean.
But y'all, this is what we're gonna be doing every Monday. So please, hope to see you at the next one. Please check out all of our other streams if you're keen.
Yes.
Leave a follow to stay up to date and everything. Weekdays, 3 p.m. Pacific time. Mondays, gonna be Attack on Titan discussions until season 4 is over. One Piece manga readings on Tuesdays. Wednesdays and Fridays, I'm playing Cyberpunk 2077 and having a really good time.
Yep.
Despite my PC having issues at times and stuff like that, or the game having issues and
Right.
stuff like that. But then also on Thursdays, Jacob playing.
Persona 4 Golden. However, it's that time of the year.
Oh shoot! It's that time of the year.
So
yeah.
Christmas on
Thursday
Thursday and
and
Friday,
Friday.
because that's Christmas Eve
Thank
and
you.
Christmas
Thank you for
Day.
reminding me.
We are not going to be streaming.
No streams on Thursday and Friday this week, y'all.
Because there was this crazy foreign concept that we have heard rumor of
Time off?
taking days off, and
Oh shit!
we
I don't
thought
know
we'd
how to
try
do
it
that.
out. There still be all the uploads on YouTube, so not actually. Are we really taking what? Point is,
Yeah.
So
Just no streams those days.
no streams those days. Yeah. But it'll continue like regular the next week. So like for instance on I think New Year's Eve then is when the next Thursday one will be or New Year's Day, I forget. But I will still be playing Persona 4 Golden on that day. But yeah, so it's only for this week.
ReZero? Oh,
Yes.
maybe if you're a patron, there might be something special of ReZero related coming later today.
Yes, I kind of have to go do that once this podcast is
but
over
you know
and such.
that's if that's interesting, maybe
There may or not be a reaction to a particular OVA. It's going to be on
that's
early
really good,
access very soon.
related to
It's very good.
Emilia
Yeah.
and Puck, the goddamn best fluffy,
Best
Puck.
pucking cat.
best pucking little
Yep.
fluff ball. But yeah, guys, hope to see you there for those streams. Take care. Have a wonderful holiday season, and see you in the next one. Check out the commands for all the extra stuff in there, the doobly-doo details and stuff like that. And see you in the next one. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb,
I'm Jacob.
and we'll see you all
Next time. That is great. Dancing Vero. Oh, good, Jacob. We thought you forgot about taking days off. No, I didn't forget. We just don't.
We just have weekends, and even then the weekends are like kind of weekends.
Oh yeah, I'll work on getting the manga read through up to the VOD channel. Yes, thanks for pointing that out, JLo Relage. Yeah. Oh boy.
Happy
Well-
holidays. Yeah, you guys too. Yeah.
Yes, happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you all.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice stream clap. Yeah. It was fun. I love talking Attack on Titan because it's kind of the perfect show, I guess, just for that specific types of discussion I like to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
It's wonderful. I love
wonderful.
it. The fact that a show that got me really into anime, I can
And
still think
inspired
so
battle
highly
lines?
of. Yes, I can still think so highly of right